All right, check 1 2 1 2. I'm in the building. You understand? You understand? What's going on? This is Bronzebird here with another Brownstone Powwow. This episode is going to be called Keanu. I know in the title I said that it's Red Pill because I just wanted to get this topic off so y'all understand where I'm coming from. But I'm probably going to just name this joint Keanu and not like the actor Keanu Reeves, because I actually was looking this up today. Keanu Reeves got his name from something in Hawaiian that translated to cool breeze over the mountains. So I was like, okay, let me settle the score. Let me try something a little bit new or give a basic title, because you know how I do my titles. So I'm going to start off with my man's Third World Ward Colombian. What's good with you, man? He asks me, how you holding up in NY since the storm came through Bronzebird? Well, the thing about the storm was, I mean, I was looking at the stuff on Instagram last night, and I was like looking at like so many places that was like flooded, but like where I was at, it wasn't flooded. Like I know it was some spots around me, like when I just, was just chilling. Like I went outside for a second just to check it out, but the hurricane wasn't really that bad in my area. But like this morning, like just driving through the city and stuff like that, you seen cars like piled up and on the highway, and you seen like wild tow trucks. It was like, yo, like this ish was crazy out here, bro. Like people leaving their cars in the streets. So there was like mad tow trucks, and I was just like, okay, so it's just mad people trying to just like whatever and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, basically that's what happened with the hurricane. The hurricane was actually pretty bad in the city, but it depends what area you was at, because there's spots that's right by the water that was like really getting flooded, and then there's just spots that just did not get touched like that. But overall, the hurricane was wild windy. I'll tell you that. It was really windy, bro. So I'm gonna say that. But how's everybody doing? You know what I'm saying? What's the vibes like? I'm not gonna keep this live like long or whatever, but I just want to get into my conversation. And whoever wants to get into the powwow, wants to have a conversation with me tonight, you're more than welcome to. I'll just send the link out right now in case anybody wants to jump on and conversate, you know what I'm saying? And you guys want to talk about anything related to the topic I have for tonight. So basically, I wanted to make this episode because I was thinking about this for a minute, right? I was thinking about this whole entire red pill ideology and about how, like, I'm kind of just becoming a little bit annoyed with the manosphere, you know what I'm saying? And it was really crazy because one of the YouTube content creators that I watch that, I really like this dude's material, he was like, I don't like the black manosphere and that fuck shit, you know what I'm saying? For lack of a better term. And I was just sitting back, I was just like, yo, like, wait a minute, like, you know about the manosphere, bro? Because dudes have been mentioning your name, so I'm pretty sure you've been catching wind, so that's what it really was. Oh, okay, that's good, Third Ward. Yeah, man, just keep everything cool, bro, because it's just a lot of stuff going on at the moment, and just too much stuff. So I was just like, just keep it trill, bro. But yeah, I was thinking about this, and I was just like, I really wanted to come up with this as a topic of conversation because I think we're spending a little bit too much time on women. You understand? And my thing about it is I don't want to always focus on women all day. I want to focus on stuff that matters. Like, shout outs to my homeboy Jay. Shout outs to you, Bronze Flat Power God. What's going on, bro? See you. What's going on, kid? How you living? You good? Peace, family. Peace. But I was saying like, yo, why we always discussing this stuff about women, bro? Y'all trying to come with negotiations. So shout outs to this dude Jay that I was having a convo with earlier this week. And we was just like, conversating, whatever. And I was just like, yo, why? I don't give a damn to be having conversation about women who just don't care. I don't care either. So why am I wasting my time having a conversation about some shit that I don't give a fuck about? You understand what I'm saying? This is a waste of time. And shout outs to the brothers that sharing these videos, man. I appreciate both of y'all, man. Thank you. But I was like, yo, we need to be concerned about tech. We need to be concerned about crypto. We need to be concerned about, all this other stuff out here that's going to generate the wealth. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not focused on that whole entire rhetoric like, what have you men built? And all this other stuff. We know we powerful. We know we strong. We know we're not living under our kingdom and our proper rulership. We understand that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be told this by a bunch of people who don't care about us and want to down us and be negative every single chance they get. What is the purpose of that? This is why I say you have to reorganize your energy, because it makes no sense to have repetitive conversations about stuff that's really gonna make you upset and mad, bro. What sense does that make? You understand? So I was having a conversation on that, and I was wondering to myself when I traveled outside this week. It was actually this man I was having a conversation with by Times Square, And I was over there because they was just randomly asking me for something. I don't know what the hell they was asking me for. They asked me for like some marijuana. And it was this girl that was there that was asking for some weed. So I was just like me and my homeboy chatting, and he was like, "Yo, you know where you can find it?" We like, "Nah, we don't know where that, we don't know where that joint is." And So I'm just sitting up there looking at the dude like, "Yo, you gonna holler at shorty? I mean, she's young. I mean, you know what I mean? You gonna get at that? Like, what's the deal?" So homeboy tells me, he's like, "I don't give a damn about these bitches. I don't give a damn about these women. I'm about my money. I'm about my paper. I'm staying out of trouble. I stay the hell away from these women." So I thought about that in passing. So I was like, does this relate to, does this like have people been watching the program? You know what I'm saying? Like, have people just been watching what's been going on and all that other stuff for them to make that assessment? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting wild distracted while I'm talking to you guys. I'm just trying to put something up right now. Okay. I did it. Okay, so yeah. I was wondering to myself, I was like, yo, when having this conversation about the red pill philosophy, because the brother probably never said that he's red pill, but you understand that his rhetoric is red pill like. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, is a lot of dudes catching on in society? Is this now going to become one of these type of things where we're just all about hating women or disliking women or becoming very distant from women? Because I tell people all the time, I still want a woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if that's for recreational use, aka sex, or an actual relationship. You know what I'm saying? I advocate for that. But I was saying, I find it crazy that this dude was saying it because it's like nearly mirroring what a lot of dudes in the space or MGTOW or manosphere usually talk about. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm just like, I want to vibrate higher. Like, tell them, teach me things. Because I know in this powwow we talked about, religion. We talked about spirituality. We talked about a lot of different things. So I'm just trying to understand at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, how we going to move forward as men and all that. So, that's my piece. I'm not really trying to spend a lot of time on this subject. I just want to get people's perspective. So jump on in. I got my first guest of the hour, Azure Saint. What's good, my man?
Nothing much, Bronze. How you been, man?
Been chilling, man. How you been living, bro?
Oh, I've been living great. Finding a job and all that stuff, and my with my birthday coming up and all that stuff, I'm gonna celebrate it.
Your birthday is this month?
Yep.
Oh yeah, bro. You got a echo in the background, bro. I can hear myself. It's good.
Yeah, I mute myself.
All right, yeah. I was saying, yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, man, live it up, bro. And I hope that this birthday year you gonna kill the shit because you are. You know what I'm saying? And as terms of the job prospects, yeah, I get it. I think that the great thing about COVID now is that you have more of an opportunity for other ways to make income instead of actually having to go out in the streets and all that. To look, there's remote work, there's like just ways to make passive income and all this other stuff. Like, I was even seeing this for a minute, bro. I mean, if you invest your money, even if you get a job, still make investments, right? But I was even seeing like online, like people was getting money off of vending machines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like making income off of vending machines, bro, and then like what you been call it, like some type of like virtual like restaurant where like you could like make your own like menu from the restaurant or whatever. You just tell them how to make it, and y'all develop some type of business together, and you and them earn cash off it.
Oh, all right. Nice.
Yeah, man. Oh, peace
So,
officers. Go ahead, you
so
got the
like,
floor.
what's the topic today?
So I gotta pull up my phone because I'm paying attention to this stream and then I'm like trying to look at everything at the same time. So I was talking about like the idea of red pill. Like, are you really red pill in real life? Do you feel that red pill women in this space are women who are conscious about what's going on in society against men? Is it all real or are they capping? Like, are they really on some bullshit or is it actually genuine? Like, are you red pill in real life? Like, everything that might be said in the manosphere, is that still something you carry on your day to day functions? So that was the
Well,
topic.
uh, well, I think that this whole pill thing is ridiculous, and I could agree with what Big J says about it because he he and me and him both know that it's already like it's just some ridiculous shit that the Black Manosphere came up with, or the Manosphere, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it like when you got people who are delusional and all that stuff, who like do these outlandish things. I think like there's something wrong with them mentally, or like for instance, like modern day black women, like most of the black women today, like they're on some bullshit. Like they got this mentality where they think that they're too good for everybody. But like, oh, what's up, Wacky? But here's the thing. Like I see this on dating sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are women that get on dating sites, right? And then like Tinder or Facebook dating and whatnot, and like they just act like they're too good for everybody. Like, what could you possibly be doing on here if if you're not looking for somebody? Like, I don't get that part. You know?
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean, bro. Uh, Wacky, chime in, bro.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
How you guys
Hey,
doing?
Wacky.
All right, all right. What's going on, bro? All right. So, as far as the question is concerned,
Wait. Before you start, we both from New York. How did the hurricane treat you, bro? Is your area alright?
well, my area is all right. It's just that I had to call out from work today because I wasn't able to travel to work. So
Okay.
my area is all right, but it's just that traveling to me, well, with me from my end, is really very limited. So I had to call out from work. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So other than that, I'm doing okay. What about you and your family?
Yeah, my family good. I'm chilling. I'm alright. I'm just chilling and all that. Focusing. I was making some business calls, vibing out with some people yesterday, so I was really happy about that.
Excellent, 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 boy. Those New York City subways was flooded, boy.
What? Like,
Yo,
28th Street. I seen
yeah,
28th Street, 157th, 116th. Like,
yeah,
I was looking at it. I was like, the water done piled the hell up, bro.
He-
Like,
hell
it's
yeah,
crazy.
hell yeah. See, Bronzebird. Not to be off topic, but somebody's. I'm hearing the echo.
That's his
I
all.
think Azure Saint.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not to be off topic, but a lot of people don't realize is that the New York City's infrastructure is way over 100 years old.
Yep.
So the infrastructure is old, and it's it's barely updated. It's barely upgraded. Okay, there's
Mhm.
some adjustments. The city makes some adjustments, but not to the level that it needs.
Right.
Thus, you have this type of flooding. Yeah, but when it comes to the topic, to answer the question, am I am I red pill in real life? Well, before I answer the question, first, the way I define red pill is the way it's defined in the film The Matrix, which is where the figure of speech red pill and blue pill comes from. And I define red pill to be enlightened and to be more aware of how society truly operates, to be conscious of how society really operates around you, and being able to see through the lies that society promotes. So when it comes to that definition, I'm like that in real life. See, because being truly red pill is a self awakening, self enlightenment state of mind. Red pill is a state of mind. Listen, it's way deeper than females. Red pill is about your awareness, or your awareness about society. It's being socially conscious, and being truly socially conscious is a state of mind that you carry throughout your life, not just on the internet, but even in real life. So with me, yeah, I'm socially and politically conscious in real life. How you see me on YouTube, what I say on YouTube, that's how I really am in real life. I really believe
Same.
these things. I'm not putting
Same.
up a front on the internet. I don't do that.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
I
I
don't.
don't even know how to put up a front.
Yeah, like, because that's the same with me. I don't like putting up a facade. I mean, yeah, I don't want to use my real name. I just don't. I just be like, because I get into my whole entire spiritual essence thing, low key. Like there's a specific reason why I say Bronzebird. Like there's a reason for it. But I mean, to go with the red pill shtick, I believe in that too because when I came into the whole entire idea about consciousness, the thing about it is that a lot of stuff, you know, it's one of those type of things. It also adds in the element of selfishness for a good cause because now you're thinking for yourself. You're starting to be a free thinker. So it's always beneficial, and that's why I think that when you become quote unquote red pill or you start to become conscious, there is some type of like negative connotation to it to the public because it's just kind of like, well, who the hell you think you are? Being all smart and all that other shit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, the thing about it is like, no, I want to teach you, I want to guide you on awareness because even when my whole entire thing is, especially when you get that download from the Most High, I always believe like, there's always a reason why you want me to open my mouth and say things to certain people, or you want me to project this entire speech, or you want me to see things for what they are. There's a reason for it. And it's like, my whole entire philosophy on life is it's just like the sun when it hits the solar power or the solar polar, whatever the hell you call solar power. When it hits that grid, it powers stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like when the Most High or the red pill ideology hits you and become aware. It's allowing you to power yourself, and you can power others around you who can see or might have an idea or concept on how the society is treating them. And not a lot of people can really be conscious. I think certain people may throw the idea of red pill around just because they want to feel like, oh yeah, I got the power. No, it comes with a much more than what you think before you jump on and say, oh, I'm red pill. You know what I mean? So that's what I really think on it. But yeah, that's my perspective. 1G's, jump in. What's good, Mac? Tap in. Tap in, tap in.
He's a troll.
Nah, I know 1G's. This is my homie.
No, he's not.
Oh, what's up, homie?
Nah, I think his audio is bad. I don't know, 1G's. You might have to leave and come back because if you're trying to speak, we don't hear you.
Yeah, bro, unmute yourself. I don't know if he's not muted. Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, he probably has audio issues.
Yeah, bro. Do me a favor. Yeah, bro. Like I don't know what's going on with your mic, bro. I mean, I'm gonna let you stay. Just when you're ready to speak, let me know, bro. Or just type in what's the problem in a private chat because I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you. But,
I can't hear you. But go ahead, jump in.
But okay. What a lot of people in this space don't realize about red pill is that it's a spiritual journey. It's an internal thing. It's something that you receive internally that gives you that enlightenment to really see the bigger picture in society. It's a spiritual journey. And when people in this space limit to the red pill to just talking about females, they're actually insulting what it means to be red pill. Like I said before, the meaning of red pill is way deeper than just talking about females, man. The red pill don't begin and end with just females. It's deeper than that. It's about being able to look at society as a whole and seeing how society really operates. It's a higher state of consciousness. Mm-hmm. That's really what the red pill is, a higher state of consciousness, and where you get that higher state of consciousness from is from within. Well, it's really from the Most High, but the Most High sends it to you from within. Mm-hmm. It's that spirit within you that gives you that highest state of consciousness. So it's spiritual. So when you got these clowns come up in this space talking about red pill, they're just utilizing the term red pill, in order to try to fit in,
right?
As a way of trying to fit in, because they're not truly red pill. If look at what they talk about. When they claim to be red pill. See, what I look at to be red pill is when it comes to the earthquake in Haiti, whether or not it's an artificial earthquake or if it's natural. If it's artificial, who's behind that? What's the
Right.
reason behind that? See, that's some red pill shit to talk about. But then when you got these clowns out here talking about females, all time females, no, man, you're not a red pill. You just pussy whip. That's all you are. Excuse my language. But
Nah,
y'all
you
got
good.
the mic, man. Y'all got the floor.
I'd like to respond.
All
I
right,
like
let
to.
me, let me,
Can I go next after you, bro?
okay, this is how we'll do it. I want to respond real quick. 1G's because he just came in, and then Azor, you can jump in after him. I just want to say this real quick, Wacky. I actually had an intense conversation with Big J on Sunday on Mr. Lee's panel because we was talking about the space, and it was like, a lot of dudes got to know how to have the conversation with these women, and I was just like, man, fuck the conversation with these women. I don't want to deal with them in general. What purpose is it serving me? I'm gonna argue with women who's calling me conquered. That makes no fucking sense. I said the way to move the space or to move efficiently is to make content about stuff that's going out in your world and also talking about tech, crypto, and finance, and then
Correct.
actually giving advice to men who's going to college or wants to take the college route to either pick up a trade or get a degree in their benefit. You understand? That's exactly what I told Big J, and me and Big J was just going back and forth. I'm just like, look, listen, you have to discard people who don't look at you in a positive light, because it's not going to serve no purpose. You could tell them, well, black men own this and black men own that, and it's just like they're not going to listen, because even after you said that and you might have quote unquote shut them the fuck up, they still went ahead and had the same conversation with another man after you. So why waste time when you can give them the silent treatment? And this is where I really started to talk about stop playing in trash. Let trash be with trash. The men in this space that want to entertain that shit, let them. Because it's only saying they're involved in trash as well. And this is why I started to quickly started to just be like, you know what? I'm not going to get involved in a lot of these conversations because it doesn't serve me shit. It's kind of like that nasty feeling you have, like, yo, goddamn, I just got dirty for no fucking reason. And because of this dumbass shit,
Yeah.
and you just be like, ugh, this is so not me. And so I was just like, look, listen, I had a whole entire year probation in the space or whatever, and this, that, and third. I'd just be like, look, listen, I'm just chilling. I ain't gonna say man is for this, man is for that. I'd be like, look, it's just Bronzebird, and the dudes that really rock with me, I rock with y'all. So that's how we really do. That's how I'm looking at it. But I had to tell Big J, like, yo, look, listen, you have the right ideas, but you're still trying to have conversation with people who's roaming in trash. Don't do that to yourself. You know what I mean? So that was my whole entire perspective. 1G's, get it in, and then Azure Saint.
All right, bad. Well, on that situation, there's a lot of people that sit around here that be talking all this mess, all the women all day. The women do this, the women do that. Like you said, Wacky, they're not speaking on like different issues that's really going on out here, like from the politics to education to what's going on within your state. You know what I mean, and all the other stuff. But that's all I really want to say. Y'all got it.
You know, so basically, it's actually pathetic that these douchebags, like, all they do is talk about black women, and then like you expect a black woman to respect you, but you can't even respect a black woman. Hell, you can't even respect yourself. So, how do you expect them to respect you? I mean, come on, like just complaining, sitting there on your ass all day behind a computer screen, just saying black women do this, black women do that. You know, I'm an alpha male, I can do this. Come on, don't be like fresh and fits and shit. But that's all I gotta say.
Dudes ain't really alpha.
Exactly. I was just about. Go ahead.
Just
I'm sorry,
really,
bro.
my fault, real quickly. Dudes ain't really alpha. And that's why I try to be like, notice how I speak in spaces. I don't try to claim anything. You know, like I only like I'll be like, oh, I'm in the black manosphere or just affiliated with the black manosphere. But like even certain things, like you'll see dudes do response videos off of people's panels where it was just conversations about women and men, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck is that shit serving you, bro? Like here at the Brownstone Powwow, I might touch on a panel I might have been on like last week briefly, but y'all know I'll come with topics. The certain amount of dudes make a living or only are able to get the content that they want because they have to make content over arguments or, you know, such and such, like for example, what happened with Fresh and Fit with them kicking women off of panels and all that other stuff. And it's just like, yo, what the fuck, yo? Like, that's not, what are you teaching? What is your lessons and what is your plans? Why are you not talking about what's going on with Elon Musk, him putting out that damn robot that's gonna be out there patrolling the streets, man. And then all this, and then like what you said earlier, Wacky, about the stuff that happened in Haiti. Because my thing is, I really do think they have something going on in Haiti. Like, the shit ain't just some regular Mother Nature stuff. It's some next level shit they got going out there, and they're hurting innocent people out there. I really believe that. And especially with the hurricane, who knows what the hell is going on right now? You understand? So that's why I just find it remarkable. So many dudes is quick to label themselves like, oh yeah, I'm alpha, or I'm this. And they're quick to down other men and call them an incel or call them this and call them that. But dude, if you got it like that, there should be no bragging. I've never been the type to brag either. I've never ever wanted to be the type to brag. That's just corny. Why are you doing that? But go ahead, Wacky.
Yeah. You know what? Wise words, excellent words, Bronzebird, excellent words. You know, even as you were saying, Juan G's, both you brothers also have stated some excellent words. But to respond to what Azure Saint and Bronzebird is saying about this alpha male stuff, listen. What's the like? You got these males on social media bragging about how alpha they are, but yet they haven't proven that in real life. See, being an alpha means that you are a leader of men, not on the internet, but in real life. Okay. So what what are these so-called alphas doing in the real world to show how quote unquote alpha they are? Listen, I said this a long time ago about this alpha male thing. Okay. Back in the day, I don't know, y'all a little bit too young. Maybe Bronzebird is maybe a little bit old enough to remember this. During like the 2000s and the 90s, every so-called black male claimed to be a thug. You know, they wanted to claim to be a thug because that gave him some sort of a credibility in society. Well, in Negro society, in the hood, they claimed to be a thug. You know, it made them look macho. It made them look like a man, like masculine, manly in their belief, right? So I believe that when a lot of these Negroes utilize the word alpha male, they just utilize that to replace the term thug, you know, to try to make themselves look more macho and masculine. But really, an alpha male is a leader in the real world, not on the internet. And not only that, what these morons don't realize that in this society, an alpha male is the loneliest male in this society. Why? Because an alpha male cannot be manipulated and be controlled. And when you have a society that always want to have control and power over black males, you got our females that want to have power and control over us. You have other race that want to have power and control over us. So an alpha black male is the loneliest male in this society, because once people realize that they cannot control or manipulate an alpha black male, they want nothing to do with him. So that's the loneliest male in society. So, and not only that, he's the most intimidated. He's the most intimidating. Society is very much intimidated by a true alpha black male, to the point of the fact that he has so much enemies and so much people want to get at him. So you got to understand, there's a dark side to being an alpha male. You know, I'm not saying being an alpha male is a bad thing, but there's negative results that come with being alpha male, because in this society, because we live in a society where alpha males are not really loved like that. They're not really respected like that. You know, nobody's going to respect a man who's truly a leader in society, who's truly have leadership skills. People want to have power over that man. People want to manipulate that man. And once people in this society realize that they cannot manipulate you, they want nothing to do with you, and they're going to hate you. All right. And I'm bringing that up because a lot of clowns in this space want to use the term alpha male to brag and boast about, to make it seem as if it's some sort of luxurious status. Dude, in this society, an alpha male is not that luxurious. You're the most hated if you're an alpha male. People don't understand that. So, and like I said before, an alpha is able to prove that they're alpha based on what they're doing out in the real world. You know, and if these clowns are just in the internet claim to be alpha, man, please, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But y'all got the floor.
Wacky, you literally just like lit a spark in my spirit, bro. Like that, excellent words, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you. No problem.
That's right. Oh, you was gonna go ahead as well?
What's that?
Oh, okay. I was just gonna ask you. You was about to say something. I just want to say this real quick to add on to Wacky's point, as he illustrated so very well. Also, just the fact of the matter that the alpha man would usually be defined today as a loner. Um, because the idea goes back to thinking for self. And so when you can't be controlled and when you think for yourself, even if you don't always have the right answers, you know deep inside in your mind what exactly your vision is and what your path is. And those that look at the alpha man become frustrated with him because he won't conform. And you know, too many times people want to latch on to labels just to be like, oh yeah, I'm this, that, and the third. It's just like when you have dudes that always talk about they get pussy and talk about they pimps. You're not a pimp. I mean, I've known dudes that talk all this shit, not even relate this to women, but just to go back to the idea of these dudes that's about bragging. You know, and dudes that talk about, oh yeah, I'm a pimp. And the thing about it is, I've seen you dudes lose your shit over a woman, bro. You're not a fucking pimp. You know, you have dudes out here be like, oh, I'm the flyest dude. I'm more fly than you, Bronzebird. And yo, I'll be sitting up there and I'll be like, okay, you're wearing a basic ass t-shirt with some jeans and some Jordans. You ain't fly, bro. You understand? And that's not to brag, but that's just to say I never gave a shit about labels. My whole entire thing is I've always thought for self. I'm a man on a mission, trying to understand my point on this earth. The Most High put it in me to understand exactly what's going on. Maybe I don't have the greatest everything in front of me to be like, oh, I know this, that, and the third, but at least I know and I'm aware. That's what the real, if we're going to the ideology of pills, dudes that's on that type of time, that's how they think. You understand? That's their whole entire logic. They think for self first. They don't try to win the validation of other people.
Okay, so what if you're the honest truth that's trying to impress these women and bash himself?
The honest truth is only doing that as a projection. He's trying to make himself look, in my opinion, he's trying to make himself look like the alpha dog. Oh, look at me go against these black men out here who's talking trash about you black women. I'm better than you dudes, and I can call myself a dusty because that's accountability. My thing about it is that dude has low self-esteem. And this is not to diss him because you're not going to put yourself down as a man calling yourself a dusty when you know damn well that black women call you a dusty as a pejorative. You make yourself look like a fool. You don't all this shit that he does is like remixing. It's like when the feminist movement or women of today, the modern day woman tried to remix what a slut is, being proud of being a slut in the hoe and being proud of calling themselves a thought. It's the same logic. Oh, I'm going to call myself a dusty, and I'm proud of being a dusty. Now, my thing about it is I'll give him props because he know he made a mistake in his life and he fixed it. I'll give the dude credit for that. But his terms is that he's just trying to prove he's an alpha dog. He's pandering, just like Derrick Jackson did, just like a lot of these other brothers that do all this other stuff. But when you really open up their closet, you figure that you find out they full of shit. Like, I mean,
Bro, you did his voice wrong though. Like he sounds like this. Yes, but you know, black men really are dusty, and you know they always talk about these women. Okay, so
I can't do that dude's voice, but I know he can be very condescending. And then it's just like, you know, my thing is with that, just the last point about him, not to spend much time. I just don't understand how a dude that literally came on a panel and says that he likes to date white and Latino women is now on his whole entire mission, like against the manosphere because the black woman, like, bro, like your profile has been exposed. But I ain't gonna knock his hustle. He's making his money. He's getting his rocks off of being on these panels and having these discussions. That's cool. I just wouldn't advise dudes in a space or dudes that's not manosphere or whatever go over there. There's no point. It's gonna make you try. He's gonna try and make you look stupid. Don't do that to yourself. They're gonna hire frequency. You dig?
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm not familiar with this person called The Honest Truth, but I'm not familiar.
Yes,
So
you
I
are.
have. Hold on, I am. I'm not familiar with this guy. I know who this guy is.
Yeah, bro. He was on a panel with you in Man of Tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that time we sat out there and thought he knew the history of America. He was talking about the Pilgrims.
Oh, that guy. Oh, that
That's
individual. Okay,
yeah.
with the locks. He got locks,
Yeah.
right?
That's him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. You see, he's so irrelevant to me that I forgot who he was. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I don't
okay.
try to pay attention to dude, but I mean, Zor
Yeah.
had a convo on it, but I just wanted to chime in on that. But go ahead, man.
Yeah. Okay. Now. Okay. Now, thank you for refreshing my memory on who this guy is. Bronzebird. Yeah. It seems like this guy is just trying to find his niche to see how much he can profit off of this online space. That's really what it seems like. You know.
Yeah.
Especially when Derek Jackson seems to be out of business right now. Somebody got to replace Derek Jackson, but you know what I'm saying. But the thing is that instead of worrying about things like that, we as so-called black males in this space, we need to focus more on the things that affect us, on real world issues that affect us, and figure out solutions on how to solve them. I'm just real tired because remember I've been in this space for a real long time. I mean, I've been in this space from the very beginning, and I saw how the conversations change. And ever since about 2015, 2016, the conversations just stayed stagnant because it just the conversation just stick to just talking about females all the time. Females. What are females doing? Who are females attracted to? Why are they attracted to these types of males? How to make yourself more how to make yourself more appealing to these types of no good females. It's like, come on, dude. Like there's more to life than worrying about a bad crop of females. Way more to life. I mean, how is it that so-called black males in America, we are collectively one of the most disenfranchised people on almost every area of life, but yet we're just sitting there focused on some damn female all the time, but we're not focused, but we're less focused on actually improving the black male collective and improving our conditions as black males. Come on, man. We have to do better.
Right.
Yeah, like
who's that?
Oh, that was me. You want to go?
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, mute up real quick. I was gonna say it's just like right now. I was gonna touch on this earlier. I didn't get a chance to. It's just about like how I think certain dudes is making videos about someone like not to make this about females again, but like Brittany Renner. The whole entire philosophy of that man that's getting caught up, the dude P.J. Washington, who's supposed to be caught up in this whole entire scandal because she took what she took from him, and now he has to pay her in child support and all this other stuff. My goal, I've made videos on this already, and I'm pretty sure dudes before me already made videos. Like, you have to scope out the type of woman you're dealing with before you get into a bad situation like that. And my thing about it is, you can't look at PJ Washington and be like, oh, yo, that was fucked up, what happened to you? You gotta look at PJ Washington like, yo, this is about accountability. You knew exactly what you was dealing with before you got into that situation with her. You fell for it. So that's your fault. And to get back to what, Wacky was saying, exactly. Because there's too much potential that men can have in this world and where they can move up. Like, I get excited the fact of the matter that I'm seeing brothers online create apps, yo. Create apps to like competition for like Uber Eats and Seamless right now. Dudes out there that like a 6-year-old so-called black kid made sneakers. You understand? Like, I mean, I'll still give credit to Kanye West. I'll still give credit to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And I give more credit to Kanye West because as weird as his sneakers can be fucking weird, at the end of the day, you cannot knock someone for being that artistic. More specifically because I like to be like that. So I'm an artistic dude. So when I see a fellow artistic dude that's just like, yo, I'm going to expand your world to something new, you're always going to get my love and blessings. So my thing about it is like there's so much time we have to move in that parameter of like like fulfilling our full potential, yo. Like it's just too much out here. So you don't have to stay confined to the government's conventions of what you think is right. Like as long as you're doing what you want to do, that's exactly how you should move. And that's why I try to instill that in a lot of brothers. Even before I came to the YouTube space, I was involved in programs instilling that in their mind. You understand?
That's excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Zor?
Yep. And we should also like instead of focusing on, just talking about black women, and we should also like focus on how we're going to lower the incarceration rates, because that's pretty high, and how we're going to do that, how we're going to get black families together, and like not be diverse as we are today.
When you're
Like
saying
obviously,
diverse, what do you mean?
like black, like this, like do you guys like notice that there's like this is like the black divestment war, like black men don't want to be with black women, and black women don't want to be with black men and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a
I
her
call it
party,
the,
her party.
yeah, I just call it the black divestment war. That's what I call it.
I mean, when you look at social media, hold on,
You was
mute yourself.
on.
As you were saying, all right. If you're just looking at social media alone, you're going to assume that black males and females don't want to be with each other. But when you look up the marriage statistics between so-called black people, the majority of so-called black people are marrying with with inside their race. It's only about what, about maybe 17% of so-called black males who are currently married to females of other races, and is currently within so-called black females is even lower. So therefore, the majority of so-called black people are with each other. I mean, don't get me wrong. If so-called black people choose to date someone of another race, they have every right to do so. But like I said, on social media, especially here on YouTube, if you just listen to just the rhetoric, it's going to make it seem as if so-called black people are not really with each other when they really are. you know, but yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
I was gonna say like, um, it's a little bit of a projection because it's not like I go outside. Like I mean, yeah, there's been maybe a woman or two that might have been so-called black, like oh I don't date black dudes. I'd be like okay, cool, and even still, I would even hear from friends later on. I'd be like, yo, what happened? And da 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 da. Oh, she's dealing with some hood dude and this, that, and the third, and then wound up being a black dude. So I mean, I don't take this shit online that a lot of these women say seriously. None of it is like what these men online say too. I think. See, I wasn't gonna do this. I should have did a poll on this. I was gonna do a stream where I was gonna analyze all these both so-called black men and so-called black women. You know, projecting, trying to say that the so-called white woman is better than all that other stuff and putting other nations on a pedestal. Still might do it. I don't know, but my thing about it is that if you have that much guts and glory to say all that, you're really telling on yourself. Because that all you're doing is asking for attention. Because you want the party that you think is going to be disinterested in you to get mad because you're looking for their validation. So my thing about it is like, ain't no problem with so-called black women when they're sane, when they ain't out here following the bullshit rhetoric, whether you want to say feminism, the ratchet culture, and let's not forget, hypersexuality is starting to extend in westernized culture in any way. This is not just so-called black women. It's just that so-called black women are being put on a higher pedestal for hypersexuality. But if you actually look at hypersexuality, the content of it, all nations of women in the Western world are following that shit. You understand? So that's why I'm saying with men, you just have to find at least one woman. I mean, and this is another thing because a friend of mine had a conversation with me about this. Like, too many dudes want to sit up there and talk about all this type of like uh, polygamy now and talk about having more than one woman. Well, deal with the first woman. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the woman you have first. If she's good enough for you, and she respects your wishes, and you die over heels for her, it ain't gonna make no sense for you to have a second and third and fourth woman. For what? You got one woman in your life who cherishes you and wants to be with you and see the good in you. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta focus on that other shit. But in terms of that whole entire stuff I see online, I always ask this question. All of what you saying online, do you say that shit in real life? Because I can have the conversation with anybody right now. It don't matter what nationality, it don't matter where you from. I can have the conversation about whatever. And still come across as respectful, not mean, not having to call you out your name and throw ad hominem attacks. That's what real dudes do. You ain't gotta go hit a curveball because you hiding behind an avatar. You a real man that have discussions in real life too. Show and prove.
Most definitely, most definitely. But all right, Bronzebird, I'm gonna have to go because I'm about to start me a live stream.
All right.
But all right, man. But thank you for having me on here.
Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, no problem, no problem.
All right.
And the rest of you guys, one Jesus, Azure Saint, and people in the chat, y'all have a good evening. Shalom.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Peace, Wacky. Nice speaking to you.
Uh-huh.
So, can somebody tell me why I have a crush on Lizzo?
You have a crush on Lizzo?
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, if you like the big girls, listen, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with the big
Ain't
girls.
listen, Browns. Let me say this, man. Ain't nothing wrong having your little big joint. You know what I mean? We had one or two of them. One time at least. Nobody can't fraud and sit here and say, no, I ain't never had no big girl. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Come on, man. Stop it.
Dudes be really capping out here like, oh nah, son, I don't be trying to fight women. Ah. I mean, like, look, listen,
You had to take one for the team one time.
Hey, look, listen, bro. Like, my thing is, there's certain dudes out there that's chubby chasers. I don't knock them. I mean, used to in the past, I used to shit on them. I used to be like, oh, you like fat bitches, but now I just be like, look, listen. Sometimes the extra mileage on that pussy be a little bit better than little skinny shorty and little slim thickums. You understand?
Right.
Little shrimp on your bobby. You understand? Like, should be hearing a little difference, huh? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look, listen, I'm gonna lax back off of the whole Lizzo shit for myself. Like, I ain't gonna be like, oh, it's Lizzo. But I mean, I know there's other women that's like thick that I think is, I find attractive. So I mean, tell me what's your interest? What made you gain some type of attraction to Lizzo?
Dude, the Lakers game when she had that thong, I was like, oh my goodness.
Hey. Oh, what about when she was twerking with that flute? When she was playing the flute and twerking at the same time?
Oh my god, that too.
Yeah.
You was like, damn, son. She's hitting high notes. I'm telling you, but hold on, bro. You think you can handle a shorty like that?
Damn right, dude. I've handled that. Dude, I'm currently dating somebody right now that's her size, and like I'm just gonna get into it. I gotta get into it. Like see, people they shit on Lizzo so much. Like, dude, I want to simp for Lizzo. Okay.
But it's simple.
I'm just being. I want to simp for her. She beautiful as hell. She really beautiful. Like, damn, and her ass when she's twerk, it's like the quality,
Quality.
I dig it.
I dig it. I'm gonna let Demetris jump in. What's good, man? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What's up? But yeah, I agree with Wacky. Like, that's why I typed in the chat. Like, there's a difference between mainstream red pill and red pill in its original sense. In its original sense, it was supposed to be enlightenment, and then you got like hurt people like coming up on it, and then they just make it all about why they were hurt in the first place. And I don't know. It's kind of odd seeing a whole phenomena occur, especially with like the quote unquote rise of Kevin.
Kevin
Uh,
Samuels.
yeah.
I think that
Me. Go ahead.
just my fault. I think dudes is just happy to see that there's just a man, specifically a brother, that's able to go online and kind of talk to women in a certain way because he got the upper hand and all that. And it's kind of like they just like, oh well, you can't really say all that because blah blah blah, and you be disrespectful. It's like I think certain brothers get a kick off of that.
Well, here's the thing though. Um, why? At what point does it stop?
True.
True, you got a point there. Then you got to think the reasons why they upset too, because
Exactly.
they had to hear a lot of shit from Oprah, from all them fucking talk shows from the '90s and all the other shit. They had to hear all that shit. So now there's a man out here, especially your brother doing his thing, trying to tell these shorties what it is. They loving that shit.
I mean, but what do you tell? What do you tell to my generation, Gen Z, who just like came up on this stuff?
I'm Gen Z too, man.
That's why I say like, okay, I understand, but where's the line? Because you got some people up here who talk all this crazy stuff. Like I remember there was a dude on the breakdown, Archer ain't ish. He be saying some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, some guys do be taking it a little too far on it. I ain't
And
gonna lie.
that's why I say like, where's the line? I understand. Um, I understand fully. Like you can't. There's been a culture, an uprise of coddling women, right? But there has to be a line for, I guess, this. At a certain point, it doesn't become dispelling, and it's not. It's just being an a-hole. That's all it is at a certain point.
Yeah, instead of trying to understand each other, they just want to be right and argue with the women
So
and all
that's
that other
why I
shit.
typed in the chat, Bronze. Like some people enjoy being angry.
Right. They
Yeah,
love
they do this kind of
functioning
shit.
toxicity.
My God, continue.
Oh, yo,
No, no,
you
go
want to
ahead, go
go?
ahead,
Or?
bro. Go ahead, go ahead. You got it.
All right. They do this kind of stuff because they're just looking for clout. That's part of YouTube business. Like they gotta do, they gotta get better content, and the only way they're gonna do is if they get drama and do all this outlandish shit. That's how to do it. I mean, you gotta understand this is YouTube business, all right. But it shouldn't have to be this way. But apparently, that's what you have to do to get famous.
Well, I wasn't necessarily concerned about the content creators themselves, and more about the fan base.
Oh, the fan base. Oh, yeah, the fan base. Whoo, man. The fan base is the worst of all. Well, I don't think I wouldn't. No. Yeah.
And I'm obviously, I didn't know like it's here and there, but the point is like sometimes I'll see this, um when they say this crazy stuff. Sometimes the chat will cheer them on just to like troll the heck out of a woman, when I think we should be holding ourselves to a certain standard.
Well, that sounds like a bunch of angry covert gay men. I mean, if you think about it though, like they're just angry. They're just angry about women. Like if you look at who Jessica X is, right?
Bro,
Yeah.
we all know who Jessica X is.
Uh, this question was posted to the Jojo, and he left.
He'll probably jump back in. He probably had a signal problem.
But yeah, like if you go to her live streams, you know this girl. Okay, so um Bronze, you know this live stream that she did on Cynthia G, Nyla Says, and them,
Yeah.
and then this girl Melly or whatever her name is,
Melly?
Lally or I don't know, but she was a subscriber for Cynthia G.
Mhm.
And those guys in Jessica X's, live chat, they were like, "Man, get this bitch off here. Shit, her voice is killing me."
God damn.
Like it was so brutal.
Lulu. Yeah.
Yeah,
Enhance.
I had
Hold on, my fault. Enhance. It's not Melody. Melody is cool peeps with Jessica X and the rest of the dudes in the Manosphere. She actually has her own page too. Well, you know that, but no, it's not Melody. It's somebody else. Go ahead, bro. You got it, Izor.
Oh, okay. Uh, Lulu, that's her name. Lulu.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. But everybody in the chat room was saying, get this woman out of here. And like her voice is killing me. Ugh. Like she was trying to have a conversation with Jessica X, but I don't think it's like necessary to tell somebody to get the fuck out of a live stream because their viewpoints don't match yours. So yeah, these guys need to take some anger management classes, like
It,
for
it,
reals.
it's not even that though. Like it's trolling. I mean, when you really break it down to it, and look, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like I haven't been in those moments I've trolled specifically or just get X's chat because the shit be funny. You just be sitting up there because I troll both women and the men that's on the panel. Like I have this whole entire technique. I'll be calling dudes helmets, and I'll be like, y'all niggas are swamis, yo. Like y'all be saying some regular okey doke shit and swear you think you saying something. Like when you get the pro blacks that hit the panel, I'd be like, you talking to a woman across the pond, right? Like you dudes sit up there talking about this pro black shit and this whole entire Quang and Kang and all this other stuff. I just be looking at him like, yo, you dead ass? So I mean, look, it's trolling. It's trolling. I mean, look, I think certain dudes don't have a filter. Like they just don't give a damn. And I think that's where it's just kind of like the line would be drawn. But again, we're talking the internet, so you can say whatever the hell you want at most, because still, YouTube still blocks some of the certain things you say. But you can say certain things online, or basically say what you want to say. But in real life, that's not how you act. So you gotta keep that into account. It's just kind of like dudes just be ready to say something. You know what I mean?
True.
So, I mean, like
Yeah.
like I said, I ain't gonna lie. Like I haven't trolled sometimes, but I haven't. But like for instance, I think it was some woman that came on called Empress TV, and I didn't really troll, but it was kind of like, yeah, all you men is disgusting. That's why I don't date you, black men. One of those type of women, right? And she was saying all that and blah blah blah. But then I was just like, but why are you here having this conversation in the chat? And then I was sitting up there saying, well, you're a single mother who's a porn star or whatever. So what happened to the dude you had a chat with? You know what I mean? Oh, he dropped down. Okay. Well, yeah, that was the main point as well. But thanks for coming through as usual. Who else got any words? If y'all got anything, I don't know. Or anybody who's in the chat as well, tap in if you really want to. Just hit the link if you want to come up. Whatever you want to guys want to do. Yeah, what y'all got on it? Just agree.
I mean, I agree with you actually.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
actually.
entertainment.
I didn't consider that when I was about to say what I was gonna say. But the reason why I said what I said the way I said it is because when we have these conversations about building and setting ourselves apart, then there has to be criteria for that.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so, but I actually agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we just be trolling and just. I understand there's dudes that take it overboard and they can say some really hurtful, disrespectful stuff, but it's just like certain people you just you can't really control anybody online. Like YouTube has all authority to say what you can and what you cannot say because you're using their platform. So at the end of the day, they have the power to do it, and the person who's running the panel, they have the ones to say, look, listen, this is what you can say and what you cannot say. Like, just be respectful. Hey, Enhanced Utility, what's going on, man? Peace, bro. Yo. You on, bro? I don't see you muted. Man, what's going on? Enhance, you there? All right, well, whenever you're ready to speak, just let me know or just say
Hello?
something. Okay, great.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. What's up,
Peace,
man?
bro. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Just listening in.
Yeah, so you know what the topic is about though, right?
Give me 1 second.
No, you ain't gotta look.
Are
Oh,
you red pill in life and red pill women real or all
oh,
cap?
cap. Yeah, so I was saying,
hmm
are you really red pill in real life? Like, are you really like because I don't know if you. I'm not gonna even say the manosphere, but like just basically as a man, like, are you aware of what's going on in society, not based off what you hear off of YouTube or the streams that you watch, and if you are like the
hmm
women that you see in this space, do you think like the women that's wearing a conscious about how society's low key still against men? Do you think it's genuine or do you think it's all cap? And that's the thing I was trying to allude to on
hmm
today's panel. But yeah, give me your thoughts.
Uh, I'm starting to see it, so I'm kind of red pill aware on how men are being marginalized in the U.S. and in Western Europe. So I do see it. So, but
Okay. And I mean,
mhm.
nah, I mean, because I was gonna ask you like what because I gave an example early, like I seen outside. Like, have you ever seen any examples like when you've been outside walking around and just be like, oh, that reminds me of the stuff I saw on the internet?
mm, maybe one or two times, but like that was like several years ago. It was a long time ago.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Well, all right, man. Jump in whenever you want. Free to
hmm
express your mind. Anybody else that want to jump in and say whatever y'all want, you got it.
hmm
Sit back
So,
and listen.
okay, I'll go next then. Uh, so, in regards to me, I've since age 17, I've always like, and even a little bit before then, I've always noticed something was a bit like wrong with the way the world at least like seemed to work, or the way that it was told to me that it works. And this is in political aspects, social aspects, stuff like that. So I've always been conscious of that, and then I would always like research things in my free time. I still do today. Um, so I would say that I am, and I do try to apply what I learn when I do research things.
Heard you. Um, I've been having that feeling for a while and type of like consciousness. I would say because I felt some type of like paradigm shifting. I always refer to this the year 2012. Now I don't know if it was this whole entire idea of the black hole or this complete like change around in society because something just changed in 2012. No thanks to this quote unquote judgment day or the end of the Mayan calendar. There was just something that happened which morality just kind of went out the window. In which right now in 2021 is just really too obvious. So there's no way around it that you cannot see exactly what's going on and not understand whether you want to talk agendas or you're talking about just really everyday life that's being scripted. Now there's no choice but to see exactly what it's about. And I just started having this feeling for a while. Like I was like, I don't know if anybody understands me or if I'm just bugging out or, maybe I'm just not understanding this whole entire paradigm shift. But as time went on, just more just disgusting rhetoric started to come around. Like before 2012, there still was like a lot of like, let's just refer like hood terms like ratchetness or discussing things going on out in society. But I think there still was some type of moral compass to people. But then as time went on, it was just like, a lot of things just started getting more shittier. Which now in 2021, you cannot ignore it at this time. You can't.
It's flipped upside down, man.
Yeah,
That's what
man.
it did. It did a whole turn. Oh yeah, and let me ask y'all. My fault, Brownsbird.
No, you
But
got it.
did y'all see Little Nas X picture? I know this nigga probably trolling, but did y'all see this picture of this man wearing a wedding dress with the flowers on his head, man?
I didn't see that one, but I saw a picture of him kneeling down by a pool, and he has a fake belly like he's pregnant.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. I
This
seen
shit
that.
Is that
bad.
an example of body dysmorphia?
Body dysmorphia and how do I say it? Like, well, then it would be that type of thing of transhumanism, the flip, the man becoming feminine and trying to adopt the same properties that a woman has, and the woman trying to adopt the same properties that a man has. So, I mean, yo, like, I'm not. Well, look, listen, Tampa. I'm not going to say he's necessarily a demon. He's definitely an industry plant. There's no denying that. He's an industry plant. He's playing a role.
Yep.
So I mean, that I don't try to refer because so many people, not to say you Tampa, but too many people get involved in trying to say like the Illuminati and all these different things. I don't deny there isn't no Luciferic element to it. It's definitely obvious that it's Luciferic, absolutely. But then going on with the conversation, I'm not going to even just say demon because that just would be a surface. That's a surface word. Not to insult you, but I'm just saying it's surface. But I'm just going to say like he's definitely an industry plant who's put in to operate for a specific cause. And
Right.
that's just really how I see it from that standpoint. But nah, I didn't see the wedding dress, man.
Yeah, man. I just seen this on Instagram. Like this man really wearing a dress out here.
Are you
It's
surprised,
insane.
bro? Like,
No, I'm not surprised,
obviously,
but I'm just like now it's getting annoying. Like I want to keep seeing it.
bro, you should
Right.
you should come to New York, man. When you come to New York, you ain't gonna have no choice but to see what the fuck. And this is what I'm talking. I'm looking at Instagram right now. So you ain't gonna have no choice but to see these dudes walking around in dresses anyway, man. You see them
Oh
all the
man.
time. You see them in skirts. You see them in dresses, wearing high heel boots and all that. You know what I'm saying? Long hair, weaves, and all that other stuff, man.
It's bad enough I gotta see dudes rocking them fucking purses and shit on these sides. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my god, yeah, man.
bro. The man's image today is so damn distorted. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
I have a theory about this stuff. Um, I I think that the women that they want to push this so bad so they can see who's really masculine.
Nah, I mean, I think they're really cool with the idea of that man being feminine because again, like you have to realize modern day women do not like masculine men. They
Oh, I
don't.
didn't consider that.
Yeah, bro, they do not like masculine men. A man that stands on the square and he doesn't take no shit. I mean, it's pretty much just like back to what me and Wacky was saying. It goes back to the idea of being for self, being I don't even like saying alpha, but just the qualities of an alpha man would provide. That's you know what I mean. Like they don't like that because if you're one that stands in your square, you know what you want out of life, and you like, look, listen, this is how it is. This is how it's going to be. You know, people is looking at you like, oh, is he serious? Like, you know what I mean. But when you have a dude that's feminine and it seems like he's just trolling, you know what I mean? They want that. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to feel some type of attachment and closeness to them, like that's their friend. The thing about it is that dude is not going to challenge them. You know what I mean? And that's why I think that's what it is. But now it's just weird because I'm looking on the Instagram right now. One G's, this guy is literally having a fake belly. Talk about I'm gonna have my baby Montero come out, which is his new album September 17. I mean, like, goddamn, bro, like all the goddamn stars is aligning. Then you look on the line, you look on these emojis. Now they added the emojis with men being pregnant.
What the hell?
Yeah, bro, like they got full on emojis with men being pregnant, bro.
And this world about to be done for, man.
This world is really about to be done, bro. I mean, look, goddamn. Like, only thing you can do is really pay attention to the signs, bro. Peace.
I gotta hop down. I got an assignment to handle.
All right, man. Hopefully everything is good in school, man. Keep up the good work in there.
It is. I'll see you next time.
All right, man. Peace. But yeah, man. I don't know who want to drop in after this, but I mean, goddamn, like when I go outside, because there's too many elements to this whole entire feminization of men. You understand? The thing about it is like I go outside, like, you know, I live in New York, so if you go to a place like Brooklyn, especially these quote unquote gentrified areas, you got these dudes out here. Even it's white dudes at the time, they'll be wearing all these long ass dresses with the nails and shit, and they'll be like, "Yeah, bro," and they'll still be quote unquote straight and heterosexual, and I just be sitting up there like, "What the fuck, nigga?" Like, like, what do you mean? Like, and women cool with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to dudes just rocking regular old pants and, you know what I'm saying, button up shirts or wearing the jeans and stuff like that? I mean, I never really liked the baggy jean look growing up in the 90s or 2000s. You know, I like the slim look, the slim cut look and stuff like that. That's just me. But I mean, like, look, what happened to that real man exterior? You understand? What happened to that? Why dudes out here feeling comfortable wearing all these random ass like pastel colors and all
Ripped up
this
jeans and all the other stuff.
ripped up jeans? And I remember when we was talking about one G's, these dudes out here wearing these tight ass jeans sagging off their ass with the medium T. How you doing that, man?
Trying to show the belt off and shit.
Trying to show off the Gucci belt. If you don't get your lame ass out of here, bro. And then you see dudes like Lil Uzi Vert out here, you know what I mean? With the t-shirt and the goddamn school uniform skirt. What the hell wrong with you dudes, man? Like, men, it's crazy because men don't even want, we didn't even touch on this. Men don't even want to do the things that they were supposed to do back in the days. Like, I think it gets on my nerves when I go to, like, if I go to a gas station and I see men sitting in the car and the woman is pumping gas. Or I'll see something like when it comes to the whole thing about changing a tire. I mean, goddamn, you have YouTube University. There's no reason why you should not know how to change a goddamn tire. I don't give a damn if you was raised by a single woman or not. You should learn these essentials so that the woman is not doing the handiwork a man is supposed to be doing. That's just how I call it. There's too much red flags in this world for men.
It's just another social engineering to destroy patriarchy and masculinity.
Right.
And then in turn, a lot of this stuff that I've done my research on, a lot of this stuff coincided with population control in the 60s.
Well,
and now you see the end result. You know, 2020 was the year that birth rates is at an all-time low in the U.S. So was marriage rate is at a 150-year low. You know.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this because, you know, I'm still young, and it's just like, you know, it just doesn't seem fathomable fathomable to have a family in this generation. I'm sorry. It just doesn't seem, it just doesn't, I'm not going to say because of women loosely. I just want to say like the outcome of how everything is coming along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, liberalism really picking up steam in the progressive states and mandates and all these different things out here. I tell you
Yeah,
what,
but you got to remember though. I know you're saying that the women thing, but most of this stuff is voted by them though, because women make up the majority of the voters in the U.S.
well, that is true. That is true.
Because when you have a 51% female majority in the US, and then you have a sliver of men that go along with them in their voting patterns, this is structural. That's why, I mean, you can never change the laws that you want to change. It's structural at this point. A
I
lot
agree.
of this is on them. I mean, I don't even like picking on women, but most of the things that they're voting on, that's squarely on them. That's why I kind of laugh that, you know, they keep on saying that this is a man's world. Where exactly? That's what I like to know.
Really?
Because all these laws that's been on the books for the past 50 years, it literally limits men's economic and personal choices. I'm doing research on this on the economic side, and I'm like, damn, bro, it's like dudes out here are getting slaughtered economically, and they don't know it.
I do feel that. And I mean, like, it's like the brief research that I did,
Hmm.
it's just kind of like the concept of like the family dynamic. This is why I hate when people always want to talk about traditional roles because it doesn't apply to today's society. It doesn't. Like,
Well, see, feminism literally the underpinnings of feminism is actually to destroy traditional roles.
yes, that is true.
That's why I'm still kind of baffled that women want to they want to uphold they want men to uphold traditional roles while they don't do so themselves. That's why we're having this issue with you know with Kevin Samuels and all these other YouTubers speaking about relationships and stuff. It's like they expect men to do their part and women just skate on through, and it doesn't work that way, you know.
Especially considering the fact that even in a uh, two-parent household or
Mhm.
two people living together,
Mhm.
more than likely, and I'm pretty sure probably by like 90 to 95%, damn near 100, both parties is gonna have to work. So I
Well,
mean,
the 72% of of uh of mothers work in this country.
72%.
Yeah,
Okay, cool,
according
cool.
to U.S. labor statistics, women that are mothers, they work outside the home at a 72% rate, and that's been like that for the past 40, 50 years. Those days of the guy being the breadwinner, those days are damn
Done.
near over. It's literally you got to be in the top damn near in today's
10
economy, you got to be
10%
90
or 5%.
10%. I would say 10%, but like with inflation and everything, it's
Mm-hmm.
starting to become where you got to be making top 5 to 3% income depending on your geographical location in the US.
That's true.
That's how bad,
Because
because now a home that used to been going for 100,000, you know, 10, 10, 20 years ago, now they're going for half a million to $1 million.
that's true. That's
So
true.
now, so now a man's income, like I know Kevin Samuel said 120, it starts at 120,000, which is, that's a good estimate that he put out there, but and usually he puts a caveat saying that's Houston, Atlanta, Dallas dollars, but now prices have risen up so much that now a man needs to make close to $250,000
Right.
instead of the 120. He has to make close to $250,000. I mean, it's doable. A man can be a breadwinner at 120,000. It's just some things you're gonna have to acquire assets early, or you're gonna have to pay them off very fast. You got to do financial planning like to the T in order for that to work.
Mhm.
But I don't understand where the high value man thing, train, because I'm like I said, 72% of mothers work outside this country. I mean, work outside the home, and now with economic conditions the way it's going, that 72% is gonna look like more like 80,
Mm.
maybe 90%
Yeah.
in the next few years. So now, good luck finding that dude. And then on top of that, these feminists have these policies where it's even harder for a man to become a high value man in a corporate setting,
Right.
because there's laws that's passed in Western Europe where and also in the US, that they're mandating that 50% of your corporate boards have to be women. So
What?
if you talk, so that's why I'm like I kind of laugh, because the irony escapes me, because it's like, wait a minute. So for example, if you have the S&P 500, right, the biggest corporations in the US, right,
Mhm.
if you mandate that 50% of your corporate boards have to be women, that right there eliminates that right there eliminates the number of high value men to begin with, because you just cut in half the pool of available men that you want.
Oh, quality. uh,
Don't
but
don't you get that?
yeah, bro.
That's why I'm like, y'all bitches are dumb. Because now it used to been the financial centers, the corporate boards for the most part were male dominated. Now you have these laws that 50% has to be women right off the bat, not considering how they got there, like merit, nothing. It has to be 50% female.
Mhm.
So when you let those guys go, that right there shrinks your pool of high value men right off the rip.
And I believe this.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
I believe, especially when it comes to the employment uh,
Hmm.
requirements that it is for women, it's a little bit more. Well, it's a lot more easier for women than it is for
Yeah.
men, and that's why I just think it's really weird. That's why I just try to start staying
Yeah.
out of
That's why.
this
That's why. Yeah. That's why
high
I'm like I'm.
value shit.
Hmm.
Like I
Well,
really. Go ahead.
well, I'm just talking about on the corporate side, because most Americans are employed. So
Yes.
if you're trying to get a high value guy that makes this type of money, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna come on the corporate side. He's gonna work for somebody in a corporate setting, like a bank or um, an investment firm or a law firm. But then if you have these laws in place where women have to get dibs on these important job roles, that right there shrinks your pool of available high value men. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, you can't it is, because in economics, like that's my bread and butter. Like, we live in a world where resources is finite, and you got to use those resources as best available. So if a man if a high value man is finite, and you're already cutting another third or half, he becomes even rarer. And now women are complaining that they can't find these guys at all. But what I'm saying is, but y'all voted in the policies that cut the number of the men available that you want to marry to begin with.
In the sake of equality.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I was like, y'all are dumb for that. But I tried not to, like, put the blame game. my thing has always been like when I tell women this, or just on a conversation, I explain to them that's what y'all are doing, and it's backfiring you. It backfires on you at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I'm not throwing in their face to be
No,
to
you're
be
giving
mean
a
or anything.
realistic
I'm just
approach to it.
explain. Yeah, I'm just explaining the social economic policies that they're putting forth and how that undermines the men that you say you want.
Right. I was gonna
That
ask you this.
Yes
Do
sir.
you? I don't know if this is a true theory. To me, I think it might be true, but
Uh huh.
especially if we're talking on an economical scale, it doesn't it seem like they're trying to eliminate the middle class? That
uh
it's mainly going to only literally be working class and then rich.
Damn near. Yeah, I would say that because our middle class is shrinking, but uh everyone else globally, their middle class is growing. So like the share of the economic pie is going to be distributed a lot more on the poorer side of some of these other countries, like for example Mexico, Vietnam, China is now, their middle class is growing exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, if I remember correctly, uh they're a nation of 1.4 billion, but they have a middle class of 300 million. So imagine if they can double up that number.
To be honest with you, I think China is pretty much going to be the new
N- Well,
economic
they
powerhouse.
are.
They
They
are
are. I
now,
mean,
yeah.
mhm. I mean, well, to be fair to them, they've always been an economic powerhouse throughout thousands of years. It's just that they had so much infighting and foreign interference in their internal affairs that
Okay.
it's just now that we're seeing that they're rising up, and for them it's kind of payback time. So
I mean,
yeah.
cause look, I was seeing,
Hmm.
cause I was seeing about how they have a lot of these, like they have the leader,
Hmm.
like a part of the embassy and not a part of the embassy. Like they go out to these different countries out here, and they have
Hmm.
these whole entire things. They meet with the prime minister and all that other stuff. And
Hmm.
next thing you know, they're like, oh, we're gonna invest all this capital and blah blah blah. Like
Hmm.
when I was doing a study on when I was just looking around, they have this place called Vanuatu Islands, and those people look just like us. But then
Hmm.
they had the prime minister of that place meet up with the Chinese you know what I mean, the leader of China that went
Hmm.
over there. And the next thing
Hmm.
you know, all this infrastructure is being built out, and not only there, over in
Hmm.
Cuba,
Hmm.
Jamaica, of course, they took over Jamaica like nobody's business. And then a couple of other countries here in America, of course, they have infrastructures that's being built by the Chinese as we speak. So
Hmm.
it's like, what's really going on behind these closed
Well, see,
doors?
here's a couple of things that what they're trying to do. Number one, they're trying to isolate Taiwan diplomatically.
Mm.
So they're giving these infrastructure packages to these countries that are in the UN, so that when Taiwan wants to break out democratically or whatever, uh, foreign policy wise, that they have these countries in their back pocket to vote against any any policy that Taiwan does in the UN. That's why
Mm.
like they bought out pretty much damn near South America, Africa, and the those
Micronesia.
micro island, yeah, Micronesian islands in the South Pacific. That's just ways to get votes in the UN for what they want to accomplish on the world stage. Number two, um, they have so much raw materials, and they built up China quite a bit, so they're using their expertise and spare capacity uh, for the world, so that their infrastructure people can still work. They can find employment, because one of the policies that the Chinese have is full employment. They don't want a lot of people unemployed, because if a lot of people are unemployed, that can set the stage for a revolt. So that's what they're doing on that end. And it's like the game Monopoly. The more assets you have,
Yeah.
the more cash flow you bring in, the more power you have. It's just that simple.
I agree.
They're just playing this. They're playing it smart. I mean, we screwed up. The U.S. did on the foreign policy side. That's why I'm not too mad. I'm more mad about our foreign policy uh, decisions up to this point. You know,
I agree.
it's not all their fault. All they're doing is just playing their part
and taking over how they see fit.
Mm-hmm. And they're much more disciplined. Like I just saw today, they're banning video game playing for their young people, because they're seeing that video games is making their boys and men weaker. So they're trying to bring masculinity back in China right now.
Yeah, I noticed that. Because there's a lot of different things that they like instituted with it. Didn't they well, I could be wrong about this. This is like just surface, just only because I overheard it and just did slight little light research on it. The birth rate in China, didn't they increase it?
Not the birth rate. What they increased was the amount of children that a woman can have. So it used to been they have what's called a one child policy from the start. Then I think in 2013 they amended it, and now it's two. But now that I guess demographically, the Chinese government, they're seeing that it requires three women per 3 children per woman. So now they upped it to 3.
Yeah,
because they're rapidly their demographics, they're rapidly aging. They're needing to bump up those numbers for younger people to sustain the older people that are about to be aged out in the next 30-40 years. So
okay. Well, I don't knock into China. They're playing it smart. I just had a problem with them because I think their AI is something I had a problem with. Their artificial intelligence, like shit, like something like they have enhanced technology, because they have riots out there about that too. Enhanced technology, like in schools, like installing some type of camera in the schools, and like who's not paying attention or paying attention to the child's brain. And
like facial recognition software.
Yeah, but it's like high tech in China. And then what they did here in New York is they had a Chinese company install cameras on the New York City subway as a test, but it failed because it was something crazy that happened with it. And it was just like conspiring of stealing images or something like that. I forgot what it was, but yeah, it was some wild shit.
I mean, most of their AI is like AI in general, not just Chinese, but like AI in general it's in its infancy stage. So they're just trying to build it while they fly it. But what sets the Chinese apart in terms of their AI program versus the U.S. is that they have over 1 billion people to test their AI system on. So they will be able to gather so much data in algorithms at a faster rate versus US and European algorithms in AI. That's why they have a leg up on the AI stage, just because they have over 1 billion people to test their software.
Yeah, and it's like their cities is much more controlled. So I do agree with that. Like that's the reason they're able to do it. It's not like spaced out.
Because I mean, there was a stat that I saw that they have over 650 million internet users. That's more internet users than the U.S. and the European Union combined.
Damn.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, their middle class is growing, but the Chinese government, what's smart about them, they're controlling the speed on how they grow as yeah, as they go. And I mean it's unfortunate. I mean, I think they're the biggest economy right now in terms of purchasing power parity.
Yes.
By 2028, in nominal terms, they'll be the biggest economic power.
Yeah, I felt like that was gonna come through
Yeah,
anyway.
and the only reason why it's 2028 and not in the 2032 that I saw the economic report is because of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and how the U.S. is not correcting. You know, we just have too many economic shocks, and we're not recovering as fast as we should.
No, we're not. I mean, I
You
think
know,
like
I mean,
literally, it's
the
like
China
U.S. is
China
taking the L with it.
yeah, China has economic shocks, but it's controlled and it's massaged. In America, bro, you lose your house or you lose this or you lose that. There's nobody to help you out. There's none of that.
That is true.
That's why we have more homeless right now, even though we're one of the wealthiest countries in the world, yet we have homelessness at an all-time high.
That and it's just it's shitty policies that America put in place. Like they give
Hmm.
you this guarantee with like they'll tell you all these benefits and blah blah blah. And what I'm thinking about is the U.S. military, for example. Um, that they'll tell you all these different things like yeah, go fight for this war and stuff like that, and they'll tell you
Hmm.
about all these benefits. But yet it's still you're finding all these veterans that's
Hmm.
literally piss poor. I mean, even if you look at what happened in the 1970s after the Vietnam War, I mean, goddamn, you had all these men fight out there for the war and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they was on unemployment or they wasn't able to even gain unemployment while trying to look for new work, and they
Hmm.
still was suffering off of that. You know what I
Well,
mean? And
yeah,
then
I
you're
mean,
talking not
hmm
proper treatment for
hmm
something as basic, not even basic, but something as like a disorder as PTSD.
hmm
You know what I mean?
hmm
So it's like a lot of promises that America makes, and they say, "Oh yeah, well we got you with this and we got you with that." How y'all are one of the wealthiest country, but so many people suffer out here.
hmm
You know what I
Well,
mean?
I've always said that if you're a brother on the street, or it's become a point where you literally got to know the rules of the game, because if you don't, you get caught lacking on these streets, and you're just another meal for for the financial sharks or whoever comes your way.
Right.
So that's why I like to I mean, the black sector of YouTube or Black Manosphere. It's this is the first time in history that I know of, or at least that I'm aware of, that we have brothers that can be somewhat organized, but from my vantage point, it's not prioritized the way it needs to be in terms of economic uh, empowerment.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
all we talk about is women all day, which is fine. I mean, I got no problem with it, because women do make up half our existence in this world in terms of our interaction. But all day, every day, year in, year out, that's kind of pointless to me. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in terms of recently. And I went back, I did some backlogging on the catalogs of some videos, and I'm like, what? I'm like,
It's the same thing, right?
yeah, it's the same old,
Right,
you know.
and because it's like something you'll talk like something that they'll talk about, right? They'll
Uh-huh.
talk about it this week, and I'll be
Uh-huh.
listening. And I'll be like, this is something y'all talked about like 2-3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
So again,
Yeah, so some of the arguments that I'm starting to hear is shit that I've listened to on some other YouTube channels, videos from a couple of years ago. So I'm
right?
like, I'm like, that's cool and all, but my thing has always been like, I want brothers in this space or wherever I can find them, if it's off the street corner or whatever. I want to talk more on the economic side, economic empowerment, more on the notion of black male economic ecosystem, like our own ecosystem without outside interference.
Yeah,
Because
and
because
like
we have our labor markets, we had our business markets being fucked with from the outside in, and I want us to develop an infrastructure or ecosystem where it's for us by us. You know.
And I mean, just like the advantage of
Hmm.
just like I'm thinking on a scale of I mean crypto, because that's, obviously the
Uh,
goal of America as it
hmm.
stands right now is to get rid of the physical dollar. Now everything has to be transactional through electronics. Um,
Yeah, it's funny you said that because like I know the reason for that I guess some people are not aware is that cash, physical cash or cash transactions is transactions that can't be monitored by the government. That's why they're getting rid
mm-hmm.
of paper.
Yep.
So like, if you're trying to get a sale of illegal goods or you're trying to buy a prostitute in cash, that's money that the government can't tax or monitor or or control the capital flow. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why everything is being digitized.
Like Big Brother's watching you, basically that concept because it makes it obviously what you're saying and exactly the same thing I was thinking, because those
Hmm.
transactions, like you said, like you could just give somebody $1 and be like fuck it, and it's not going to go on your tab. Whereas if I every time I spend my card or I make a
Hmm.
transaction, let's say on Venmo or
Hmm.
Cash App, they're like the receipts and the history is always going to be there. So
Yeah.
now
So
it's
so.
easier to
Hmm.
know your financial behavior based
Hmm.
upon that and be like, oh well, this is how so and so spends their money on
Hmm.
here, instead of like, oh, I just gave them a physical $1 or $20.
So it's like, let me put it this way. This is my theory, not a theory, but this is more like I know what's happening. So it's a way to cut down on money laundering, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just an excuse. But that's one way they're gonna say this. Number two, it's another way to tax revenue that's not been taxed, because according to some estimates, studies, economic studies, there's close to $2 trillion in the U.S. that's not taxed. So that can be black market related goods like prostitutes or stolen truck parts, stuff like that.
Yeah, parts in
And
general.
then the receipts, like you say, cash app or whatever, that's a way for corporations to know how you spend your money on. So that's like an algorithm
Mm-hmm.
where they can optimize uh advertisement on the things that you buy or considering to buy.
Cookies.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's all it really is, because I
Yeah.
mean even when you because
Yeah. So
even
it's.
it's like, cause I always notice that, because it's always tracking, and I just be like,
Hmm.
how annoyed it is. You'll
Hmm.
buy something online, and then all of a sudden, like,
Hmm.
let's just say I go
Hmm.
back on YouTube and I'm just
Hmm.
looking around for stuff. All of a sudden there's an ad. Let's just say I
Hmm.
bought like let's say I bought like a drink or something like that. Now all of a
Hmm.
sudden the same company that I bought it from, now they're advertising that company when I go back
Hmm.
online, I go on YouTube. So yeah, it's definitely the only
Hmm.
thing I've ever
Yeah,
thought in
it's
my
just.
mind is tracking.
Yeah, so it's more or less just another way to gather raw data on your spending habits or patterns.
Well,
That's
with
all.
that, is it still
Hmm.
selling that information to an unknown source?
Oh, of course. I mean, they be lying about you. They be lying about this stuff. Like they actually have a contract on it. When you sign up for like Facebook and stuff,
Hmm.
you have to read the. Most folks don't read the fine print on most software products that they buy.
Yeah.
That's why they can get away with a lot of this bullshit. You know.
Now I feel guilty about it because I mean, I didn't know at the time, so
Hmm.
I was like, I'm probably in the process of deleting half of the shit I have anyway. But, um,
Hmm. I
yeah,
mean, that's why I hardly use Facebook at all. My
me
thing has
neither.
always, yeah, my thing has always been my criteria. If you are going to use social media platforms, instead of them making money off you, you make money uh, on their platform. So, meaning, you use their platforms for your
Business.
businesses, like
Hmm.
advertising. That it should be strictly economic and business use only, nothing personal. That's my criteria for brothers that want to use social media. It has to be
Yeah,
strictly business or economical, or
that's what
maybe
I'm thinking.
sometimes there's you can find some research data on their platform, so you can use it as an educational tool also.
That's see, and but I don't. So, like for instance, like
Uh-huh.
the Facebook, because I'm
Uh-huh.
still like probably in the process of deleting it, probably after some time. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, even because we understand that
Oh, by the
Facebook
way,
bought.
if you're gonna
Yeah,
delete it, put some junk files, like mess up your profile before you delete it, because if you
how would you
delete
do
it,
that?
well, see, if you delete it and your profile is intact, they can use your deleted profile and use the last known information on it. So what I mean by your profile messing it up, like instead of putting your real name or your real address or where you live, put in a fake location, stuff like that, just to jumble it up.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. So for example, like I know that on some Facebook profiles they have it where you put where you're from, right? From where you were born
Hmm.
and where you're living at, right?
Hmm.
One of the one way you can do before you delete it is mess up your where you're from and where you stay at. So like on my Facebook profile, instead of putting where I'm from, I put an overseas location.
Ah, okay, cool.
Hmm.
And remember,
And
even at the surface, people have to
uh-huh.
remember that even when it comes to your GPS, a lot of people mess up on this because people don't realize it. But even with locations, because you'll start
Yeah, but
seeing shit.
I'm just saying it make it harder. Just
Yeah,
make it
yeah, yeah.
harder
Just
for
make it
them. That's
harder for
all.
you. Yeah, yeah. Because certain people just be like, "Oh, well, how come?" Blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
because the thing about it is, like, people put out so much accurate information on their Instagram and Facebook profiles. You can low key find someone relatively quick without their knowledge. And I've actually done a security check on that, and I was able to find out some information that no one knows about against somebody. And this was about 2 years ago. And
Yeah, man.
she was like, "How'd you find that out?" And I just pointed out a few things, and I just did uh like a low key cheap a free way how to do a background check on somebody.
Yeah, bro. I actually researched certain
Hmm.
stuff like that. Like they keep it in some type of website. Like they'll have your name and
Well, yeah,
then
yeah,
they
yeah, but I was able to do it without using a website or any of that stuff. I was
just based
all
off of
I had to
location.
all I had to basically, you just go by that person's first and last name, or known associates, because you know how they have it to where, oh, this person knows such and such. Are you a mutual friend? That's all you got to do, bro.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean it does make sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I
So
went
I
to
was just able to pinpoint uh where their family's from, who stays with who, if they have a criminal record, if they lived in this old address. It's not relatively hard, especially the internet age. They call it open source intelligence.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to do digging around on the open source platform.
Well, I was gonna,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I agree with that because I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
say Instagram in particular. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like staying on there
Mm-hmm.
to look at all the fuck shit. Like I usually like look for stuff on information, and like you
Yeah.
know, if there's
Mm-hmm.
that's the only thing I really like to look at. I don't really like to look at anything else because it's just not entertaining.
I use Instagram more on the educational side, because like
Yeah.
there's some good posts, especially like economics. There's some good posts like um on economics,
Mm-hmm.
on food, like keto or intermittent fasting posts. They have posts like that, or they
Yeah.
have posts on like uh when's the best time to buy, or how the stock
Algorithms and
market
all that other
works.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use it to look at big booty bitches and all that shit.
Nah.
That's been played out. Like I said, I was a young guy, so I'm not gonna sit here and pontificate. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say my shit don't stink. I used to um look at those big booty
Big booty
bitch
Judies.
yeah
Yeah.
pictures. Hey, I was in my 20s, but now as I've gotten older, that shit, it does nothing for me. I
Nah,
mean,
I
is
know
they're still attractive, don't get me wrong, but it's just like
it doesn't serve me.
when you hit your 30s as a man, life hits different. Like the way time flows a lot faster, bro.
I think
I never
what
realized that until someone told me, and I'm like, oh shit,
well, you know
because
what?
in
But
hmm
I think the maturity I think the maturity starts to come in for men by the time
20,
they hit their late 20s,
yeah,
then into their 30s.
26 is when the male brain fully develops.
Yeah, because it's a lot of shit that I was like thinking about when I was 25, like 24 even, 23, 24. Like I was always
hmm
reserved, you know, I still was always
Same, I'm
analytic.
the same. Yeah,
Yeah, I
same.
was always analytical about stuff, but like, you know,
Oh,
25,
damn, brother.
huh?
Same here. Okay,
Yeah, bro.
so
Yeah, we on the same
okay,
page. So it was like when I hit
excellent.
20, 25, twenty
Hmm
six, a lot of stuff just didn't compute me anymore. I'm just like, this doesn't really add any value. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly. So like now, my time is spent much more wisely,
mhm,
and more, just linking up with brothers, like-minded brothers, because we're all in this together. That's how I'm starting to speak up more, because I've always been a reserved guy, and I always want to keep my information by myself. But now I realize, like, I need to do a show and tell, for like-minded brothers, or brothers that don't have that like mind, but are trying to find an alternative to what, find another avenue of thinking, so to speak. So,
pause your thought for just 1 second.
yes, sir.
Brother, that's in the background. Your device is not connected. So jump out real quick and then jump back on because your device is not connected, bro. Yeah, just make sure it's connected and jump back on. Yeah, but yeah, I hear you, man. Because what it really takes is because like what I'm trying to learn is well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to learn. There's two things I'm trying to learn. One I'll keep in private. I mean, technically, I think the first thing I was learning is pathology or something like that. But then I also want to study the human mind, right? Because
Psychology,
yeah,
gotcha.
psychology. Because it's like
Mhm.
it's really, it's really phenomenal when you become a certain age and you just look at yourself in the past. It's like it's like this imagery I like to think about. Like you're sitting on the mountaintop and you're just looking at everything that's at the bottom of the mountain, including yourself. So
Mhm.
yourself at the bottom of the mountain is your past self, and you at the top of the peak of the mountain is your present self. So
Mhm.
it's amazing. You used to be like, yo, I used to do all that dumb shit. Or I used to
Mhm.
believe in all that, blah, blah, blah. And now you look at this age
Mhm.
and it's like, that's not me anymore. But you never, the thing about it is you should never be embarrassed about it because everything you went through was a stepping stone into where you are now.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, and
Hey,
it's very
absolutely.
humbling.
I'm the same way. That's why, uh, as I've gotten older, like I take human psychology much more serious. When I was younger, I'm like psychology. That's something bitches be studying. But now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's more into that than meets the eye.
Right.
So I have much more respect on human psychology because me personally, I'm looking to do a career change and I'm looking to go into sales.
Mm.
And human psychology is um,
Like
one of
human
the key
behavior.
yeah, is one of the key components to being a best sales representative.
Yeah, it's like when I was in college,
Hmm.
when I took a lot of business courses and about like consumer
Hmm.
behavior, and you
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
understand like what's the customer's needs and wants, and it's just like I
Hmm.
analyzed that while I worked in retail. So I
Hmm.
was like, because it's a certain way it's a
I
certain way
mean,
you.
well, I was just gonna say that, like, I never realized that being a sales rep makes really good money, and it's one of the few jobs in the United States where you don't need a 4-year degree to make six figures in the sales department.
Sales rep, dude.
Not well, like a sales rep, but like going just being entry level sales representative.
But what's
You
the
can make
actual position? What's the position you saying that wouldn't require that?
a 4-year degree of
Yeah,
sales.
just sales.
Sales. Yeah, just sales in general. Because it's one of the few jobs in the United States where you don't need no experience, no degree, and you can make six figures. Because it's commission, it's sales. The more you sell, the more money you make.
Well, it's not sales. It's not like you know what I'm saying. Because like if I look online to like apply, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Like I'm saying it wouldn't be called sales representative or anything like that, right?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. That I guess I'm using the word incorrectly. That position incorrectly. But what I'm saying is sales, like just sales in general, corporate sales, sales like in solar panels or sales in vehicles. Man, you can make six figures, and you don't need a degree per se to make that type of money.
Right.
So I'm looking more into it. That's why I'm like, I from my understanding, I'm introverted,
Mm.
and I saw a post that says the best salesperson is introverts.
Yeah, I also think that
So.
I could be very introverted too. But let
Hmm.
me back up because it depends on the environment. Like
Hmm.
my thing is like I don't have a problem talking with certain people, but sometimes I don't like being in big environments. Like I used to like to be in smaller
No, no,
like.
no, no. That I'm the same. I'm the same way. I don't like.
Okay, yeah,
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 I'm not. I don't like big environments. I like to keep it more in house or more in uh not too many people at one time. You know.
and you know what? By the way you were saying that, like I was looking
Mhm.
at this stuff on Instagram. You know how
Mhm.
they have the different valuations of income,
Mhm.
passive income as well. It's like so crazy now because it's like you have so many dudes that just be like, all you gotta do is copy and paste this, and you can make this amount of money and blah blah blah. I'd be like, wow, just how crazy it is with like sales and even
Mhm.
sales via the internet, the opportunity you have as someone who might not want to do the everyday 9 to 5, you
Mhm.
have the options available in front of your door. You know what I mean? And I mean, I know there's a lot of people who want to get into real estate, And I think that's, I mean, if we're talking, because I always want to see brothers win. You know what I mean? I always want to see men win.
I'm the same way. Like I said,
Right.
sales, real estate, selling, whatever, what have you. There's money to be made. That's all. That's my thing.
Absolutely.
My thing has what I'm discovering. Like, oh damn, I'm a very analytical guy. Like I have a high emotional intelligence, IQ. Like, why don't I use my skill set and transfer it to something that could make me a lot of money? Now
Right.
I'm just now discovering. I'm like, oh shit, I should be good at it, because like I had several folks that tell me like I should be in the sales industry. So
Yeah.
I mean, to sell something, I'm not sure what that right now. That's what I'm trying to figure out what to sell. But I
Well,
definitely
I,
want to be in the sales
well, if you're
industry.
talking sales,
Hmm.
there's actually a seminar that I took a while back.
Hmm.
Um, it's saying wild, like all you gotta do is like sell like ebooks online or like
Hmm.
audiobooks, some wild shit. And I was
Okay.
just finding out like the more like people buy your products, cause you just have to understand the niche, like all
Hmm.
the hashtags and all that other stuff on like let's
Hmm.
say Amazon.
Hmm.
And like you just have to resell it to them and automatically you getting big bucks within a month, like just
Hmm.
something crazy. Like I was just like, yo, you
Hmm.
literally can do that with the click of a goddamn laptop or like desktop, bro.
Hmm.
Jeez. You know what I
Well,
mean?
for me, it's whatever pays the most, or whatever I can get my foot in the door much easier, and make the most opportunity I can
Same.
on the income side, on the
Same.
income side. So that's where I would say I would um I would go with.
I just want. I mean, at the end of the day, my whole entire philosophy was I just want to branch out of the norm because there's
Hmm.
just more that, like I was saying, like it's like no offense, but like sometimes I feel like there's separate categories in which it's just a black man's job. Like
Hmm.
you already know that industry is going to be filled with brothers that's just like, well, just take it. But it's just like, well, you still might be making mid wage off of that. Like you have opportunities to actually make more if you go in this career field, you know?
Hmm.
And I think that more brothers just got to be very cognizant of that and just understand, like, yo, you don't have to do that. You have
Hmm.
another route that you can make those six figures. You don't have to like go that
Hmm.
route. You can be happy off of that. Like
Hmm. Hey, I'm all for brothers making six figures.
that's the
You know.
goal, man. That's the
Yeah,
goal.
because the average, I think the average is 41,000,
Yeah, 41,000.
which is it is what it is. But my thing has always been like, let's exceed that number. Let's bump that average number up, so that no one can say anything about us brothers, period.
True.
You know, because that's the whole debate with the high value man, what have you. Which, hey man, I agree with it. On the economic side, because like I said, I like economics. I like crunching numbers all day. So I totally agree with it. I think brothers should strive for six figures or get close to it. So I just don't like seeing brothers being beaten down uh already. We've been beaten down for so much, and it's like, that's
And I think,
bullshit.
yeah, and I think to go to, I think earlier, I think
Hmm.
that's where the frustration comes in because it's like there's so many wars that a brother will fight in this
Hmm.
world with
Hmm.
the concept of like you're not good enough, you'll never be good enough, and then it's just kind of like, well, I want to be good enough, or I am doing good for myself. So what are you talking about? And the thing about
Hmm.
it is like you already understand the narrative that is like it's
Hmm.
the opposite effect. So the degenerate is always going to be looked at as like the prize, but the dude that's actually like yourself, like you like crunching numbers or being into finance, they're not
Hmm.
electable. They're not seen as like worthy, but it's like they have to be worthy because those are the ones that's pushing the envelope. So
Hmm.
you have to consider that and understand like, okay, if this is the guy that we have to go to, in case we
Mhm.
want to build this like new age society or just get around each other in a group, we're gonna need those dudes that's really expansive on that type of field so that we can move forward.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, that's why.
so
That's why I'm like. That's why I'm like. I like to see Black Manosphere or adjacent channels of that sort to like expand more.
yeah,
Instead of
I'm
talking
trying,
about
brother.
yeah, instead of talking about females all day, expand more on like geopolitics, economics,
Mm-hmm.
how to find ways how to make money, minimalism, uh, global markets. I see some of this stuff in
Yes,
this
sir.
space. I do see some of it, so I'm not saying all is bad, but I'm just saying I want to push like you said, push the envelope, expand more, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we should do.
I agree.
Because I understand some brothers travel to Colombia, travel to Brazil, and like I saw one channel where he has his own cigar company in Colombia. Man, that is
Nice.
smart. That is smart because I'm like, because think about it. This like you know how corporations have their own business operations in
Yeah.
those low cost countries. Like for example, you got Chevy. They we the Chevy pickup trucks, right? The frame is built in America, but the transmission is built in Mexico because of the cost of labor. But what
But
if
it's called outsourcing.
yeah, outsourcing. So why can't
Mm-hmm.
brothers outsource, do the same way? We can build businesses in those countries low cost and bring that income in the US,
That's
or
correct.
vice versa.
And we have to
Bi-
learn to take the opportunities that I mean,
mhm.
because I don't want to feel like it's like exposure of other
Mhm.
employees, but in a perfect world, if it's like other people of those countries are agreeing, like, yo, I need work and blah blah blah, you already have employees outsourcing, you outsourcing employees out there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because too
Well,
many
I'm
times
just
it's
I'm just trying to what I'm trying to say is like I want brothers to take every avenue opportunity on the economic side, uh, including global labor markets and stuff like that.
no, I
You
agree.
know.
I agree because I mean I just see it too many times. Like we already know that a lot of the products that's made in America is not American made. So
Hmm.
I mean at the end of the
Hmm.
day, why not take the opportunities just like they do? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
because most of the vehicles that are sold in the U.S. They can be built pennies on they're built pennies on the dollar, but your average American is spending tens of thousands more on that vehicle when that vehicle was made for less than $5,000 to $10,000. But the markup, that same pickup truck that was built for about maybe $10,000 $15,000 per unit, now it's sold back to that American guy for 50 60,000. You see
So
that
what?
markup, bro? That's what I'm talking about. Why
So is
can't
it
bro? Why
markup?
can't? Yeah, it's that markup. It's the
Wait, wait.
markup,
Well, I
bro.
was gonna ask you this. So it's the
Hmm.
markup, or is it also return on investment, but even higher? It's not
Some of
really
it is
return on investment.
some of it is markup, some of it is return on investment, of course, because you got to pay employees and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, you have these global supply chains where corporations and business folks are taking advantage of the labor costs in Mexico. That's what I'm saying. They're reaping off more productivity, profit, but they're still selling that same vehicle to your average Joe for a higher price.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. That's so true.
That's that markup, bro. That's what I mean by markup or surplus productivity that's being extracted. And see, if brothers can think that way, and brothers build a business in Colombia, he can make himself into a higher value man right off the rip, just on that alone, on these low cost countries like the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil. That's what I'm hearing. Brothers are setting up shop. You know, if
Nice.
brothers can think, yeah, shit.
Shit, man.
Because if you
Actually,
take
if you can,
if you take your American passport, your American passport, you bring those products in the U.S. from those countries, that markup, bam, you can become an instant millionaire in less than 3 to 5 years.
nice. I was gonna say if you can, if you know the companies, just so I can look at it, send it to me.
Uh,
Yeah.
you can look at BMT, the Black Men Travel. I know he has like a cigar
Yeah.
shop,
Okay.
so I'll have to do some more research on brothers on in terms of like where their businesses are at. I'm just giving you an example though. So like I'm just throwing this out here without any research, but that's just one brother that I've seen what he's doing just on top of my head. So because
Nice.
the world has changed, so brothers got to make money global, domestic, regional, find niches, cooperation, have our own blackmail banking system,
Hmm.
banking network. So because a lot what I've seen and a lot what I've done research on is like the one thing that prevents brothers from expanding their businesses is capital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of brothers, it's either because they don't have good credit scores or they have no credit, or banks are just outright discriminatory for brothers to take out business loans.
Hmm.
So I wanted to have it where Black Manosphere has its own bank where brothers can draw money from to build either a business or expand their business operations.
Up the FICO score and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Without FICO score, whatever. But
Oh, okay.
there still be some underwriting. But at least, damn, at least we got a leg up without, like I said, that FICO score or other banking underwriting. That's outside interference from brothers getting that capital that they need to expand or build a business.
Mm, okay. I hear you on that,
Mm.
brother. I definitely
Yeah,
do agree.
because think about it, like I see brothers with 100,000 viewer, 100,000 subscriber channels and stuff like that. What if what if what if every brother had a YouTube channel, right? And they have a few thousand subscribers, right?
Hmm.
And every brother had a cash app and everybody donates $5 to expand to build their business to build their businesses or expand their business operations by just sending that brother $5 from all his subscribers.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah.
You cash app that shit. So for example, if you have like say on the low end, right? You have 50,000 subscribers, right?
Hmm.
And you told your subscribers, "Hey, I have a business pitch, right? If those 50,000 subscribers can pitch at $5 a piece at 50,000 times 5, you would have an instant $250,000 right there,
Just based off of that transaction on
just
that.
based off that just based off your subscription count. And brothers, all they had to do was just give you $5, no questions asked. And a brother just got a quarter million dollar
$1 million.
a $250,000 quote unquote loan, and brother now can expand his business or build a business scratch like a Kickstarter campaign, like a GoFundMe, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But except it's for brothers only, helping brothers get something, a black male economic ecosystem by brothers for brothers. So You just made you were able to kickstart $250,000, bro, right there off the bat. And see, when you expand your business operations, and now your income from just that $250,000 that you acquired, you now your income is doubled or tripled. Say you need so for example, now that you got that $250,000 loan, right?
Mhm.
And you need it to expand your business, but your business revenue was 80,000, right? Now that you got that loan, that 80,000, now you just doubled your income to 160,000. Now,
Mm.
now that you had that $160,000, your yearly revenue stream doubled. Now you can take some of that money back to brothers, and you rinse and repeat. You recycle that that um that action, and now every single brother subscribers, now they can replicate that idea and start building
Yeah.
build upon that,
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, all it requires is $5.
Which is not a lot. Definitely just cheap as hell
Yeah,
to ask for.
yeah, because well, the reason why I say $5 is because one of the talking points that I've heard on the YouTube space is that black women's net worth is $5. So I'm just saying, why not use that talking point to further our economic agenda? You
Mm.
see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's just $5. I mean,
Get you, man. You know what? The last thing I was gonna say,
hmm
um, there's also this thing that happens with. I mean, I've heard from other nationalities. I think the Asians do it. They
hmm
usually have this different things where they have this whole entire thing, a concept of a pot, and every single time they come around, they might take some money out of their paycheck or whatever and stuff like
hmm
that, but they always remember if there's a specific goal when it
hmm
comes to wanting to build that business, they
hmm
always know to put money in that pot until they build enough
Oh,
revenue off of
absolutely,
that,
absolutely.
and then
Like
they yeah.
where I stay at, I stay in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I stay in North Texas, in the Dallas Fort Worth area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those Asians that come from overseas, they don't use American banks. They have their own banking system, bro.
Yes, yes, that's true.
They have their own ethnic banking system. They don't use Bank of America. They don't use JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, none of that crap. That's where I'm trying to get that concept going for us brothers.
Well, let
That
me
type
ask
of
you
con.
this:
Uh-huh.
how do they how do you how so if they don't have they're not with the banks or whatever,
Uh-huh.
how so when they have the businesses, how are they able to maintain that like within, because I
Well,
understand
they
it might be a family
mhm.
business or business
Uh-huh.
between friends, but like
hmm
how are they able to maintain that without um banks and all the other institutes that might have to deal with money, like how are they able to maintain that, you
Well,
know?
so what they do is they a lot of ethnic groups, um not even just Asians, but Latinos, they have their families pull all their resources into one pie, and they just buy assets one at a time. So like when you have Mexicans hopping off the border, by the time 15 years rolls around, that family already has a house paid for, a truck paid for, a lawn care business up and running.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called group economics,
Group
man.
economics, yes,
hmm
that's what it was. Because
hmm
my homeboy told me about that. So yeah,
hmm
I agree. But I mean,
Oh,
I see the vision. I mean, the only thing is, mainly what it
uh-huh.
would be is just effective strategic planning, in which you gotta just know like, okay, if you're gonna build with someone on a business too, you have to understand that, well, number one, I always believe in contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, at the end of the day, you don't have to have any like outside sources. If you want to get it notarized, that's fine. But I
Mm-hmm.
will always say contracts is important because at the end of the day, you are holding that person to that word, so that
Mm-hmm.
they know that as it stands on the grounds of legalities,
Mm-hmm.
you did agree to sign to this. So you can't just backtrack or whatever because
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. So I think at the end of the day, it's mainly just about strategic planning and just going with the
Mm-hmm.
flow and
Well,
just really understanding.
one of the good things about YouTube, it's a decentralized platform, but but there is a weakness within that concept. I think brothers need to have a centralized platform, like its own website, like a Black Manosphere website, a Soul website, and we
Like a
gather
video streaming website.
not a video streaming website, but just a website to where brothers like our mission statement, our plans, goals, stuff like that. Like in software development,
Mm-hmm.
they have what's called alpha, the alpha stage, the beta testing stage. There's a certain guide. There's certain goals, timelines, and goals in order to get the finished product. So I think we need something like that. Just like that way, there's one central location to where, hey, this is what we're needing in terms of economics, in terms of political, in terms of how we can increase brothers' lifespans. Healthcare wise, uh, what foods to eat. Things like that. A set of guidelines.
Right.
So something like that.
I think you have the right
Yeah,
concept.
yeah. My concept is it's not that difficult, or so there's a stat right now. The Black African American spending power is 1.5 trillion or
Trillion.
one point
I
two
heard
trillion
1.2
dollars.
trillion.
Yeah. Well, that's 2011 numbers, right?
Okay, yeah,
So
we
the
gotta
the
remember it's
number the number can
2021.
differ. The number
Mm-hmm.
can differ between a decade from now.
Yeah.
But let's just say $1 trillion, just to make the math right. Between men and women, $1 trillion, right? If we
Mm-hmm.
split the pie 50-50, that's $500 billion of economic revenue that brothers can draw from.
Mm.
$500 billion, and we only make up
About 13% of the
five, five,
population.
no, well, between just black male only,
Oh,
we make up
6%.
6% of the 6% of the male population in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But we can draw up $500 billion. Think of how massive that is if we really coordinate that where that money's going, and
Mm.
and, and, and just say brothers, all they got to do is pitch in $5, man. We're not asking for brothers to pitch in $100. We're only asking brothers to pitch in $5 based off the amount of subscribers that they have. That's it.
I'm gonna have an unrelated question that I want to ask you about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, as terms as finances, do you
Uh-huh.
also believe in something like? Because I like how the foreigners move. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like being confined to how America is. Like you have it set up in like the 401ks and benefits.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about a business like this, do you believe in creating your own like benefits and stuff like that, or do you still believe in having benefits in a 401k?
Everything, brother. Everything.
So you
401k.
believe in that?
I mean, that's what's
Like
set up, right?
let's
Uh-huh.
say okay, so let's say we build up the business and this, that, and well, I don't know how it would work because I know it's still it's a sole proprietorship, or it's actually you building. It's a partnership and all that other stuff with a business. So I don't know if it's like, oh, I can apply for.
Well, for a small business, my understanding, a 401k is not feasible, but I know that an IRA is what would be set up in a small business format in terms of giving your employees benefits, an IRA.
Okay. Cool. Because I was just trying to understand it, because I'm like, I know it's not like, I mean, for a corporation, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, for a corporation, it used to have been pensions. Then the pension liabilities became way too much for the balance sheets of most of these corporations. So that's why they moved with 401ks and 403bs, shit like that, so that the company's balance sheet looks a lot better on the books, especially on the stock price and stuff like that. But for like small businesses, an IRA is just as doable.
Okay, so IRA.
IRA. Yeah. IRA, Roth IRA. Those will be the two.
Yeah, I know about that. The Roth IRA. Yeah. Yeah. I get all of that.
There's also mutual fund. You can set up a mutual fund for employees also. Mutual fund is actually like a cheaper way how to set up a 401k in terms of a small business.
What happens with a mutual fund?
Mutual fund, it's like putting money like a 401k, except a 401k is matched. So for every dollar that you put in to a 401k, the company will match you dollar per dollar, so to speak. A mutual fund is where the employee has the sole. There's no matching in a mutual fund. The employee has to put their money in there by themselves. The employer is not matching.
They're making that investment for that employee.
No. So the mutual fund is where the employee makes the sole decision if they want to put that money in or out. But usually mutual funds, it's an automatic process. So every check that every portion of somebody's check goes into that mutual fund.
Okay. So it's set to the side as like that
side
money.
It's set to the side like a 401k would, except you're not getting that benefit of that employer contribution.
Okay. Read you loud and clear, bro. And I mean, I don't know. I really like this conversation. I mean, I just think that I think the great thing about today is that there's so many ways of doing things yourself. You don't have to take the stereotypical route. And that's why I think with me specifically, I don't really dig on the whole entire, you have to stay at that 9 to 5 or this, that, and the third. You don't have to do that.
No, my concept that I'm trying to convey is that there's other ways to make money, without having to work a 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah. Thanks to the internet, I mean, it's made it more accessible. Yeah,
of course. I mean, that's why I said we should have a black man union. We keep this shit in house.
Yeah, definitely keep it in house.
It's the same way that the cartels do. It's the same way. In order to become powerful, you got to cooperate instead of competing against your fellow man. In order to become a powerful group, you got to cooperate instead of competing.
That's and that's the mindset.
Because if every single brother were able to cooperate and be like-minded, share one vision, everybody in that circle or in that group wins at the end of the day. Nobody's butt hurt. No, there's none of this, fighting for scraps, because see, and it's just not brothers. People out here in the US, they're literally fighting for scraps on the table, while the wealthy and the corporations are eating cake after cake after cake. And most Americans are scrambling for whatever crumbs come their way, when it doesn't have to be that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the number one, especially for brothers, the number one cause of death for brothers is fighting for scraps and females. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way, especially when I know that there's a stock market, U.S. equity market, that brothers can participate in. There's over $90 trillion to be had in the U.S. stock market. And then if brothers like crypto, right? There's a $2 trillion crypto market that brothers can get a piece of the action.
I even hear even with the crypto, it's not even. I think it's like, because I mean I still gotta learn that for myself, because I don't like to just jump into things until I know what I'm doing. I'm not one of those type of guys that's just like, oh, I'm gonna jump into it because it's like popular. No, I need to know what I'm doing. Like with crypto,
of course, you got to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
I've said that all the time. Like when I do my research on stocks and stuff like that, I always do my research on the background of the company, how it's doing quarter by financial quarter. I always do that. I always tell brothers, if you're gonna be in the financial market space, make sure you do your due diligence, do your analytics. There's actually a website that I recommend for brothers to do their analytics in the stock market. It's called simplywallstreet.com. One of the best.
Okay.
$30 a month.
Nice.
And another thing, when you have that, when you subscribe to their analytics, it's considered a business. It's considered a business tool, so you can actually write that off on your taxes, because it's considered a business expense.
Okay. So because I see the site now. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, even with crypto, I think that even I have to make sure that I humble myself with this, that it's really not too crazy. You can invest for a small amount. You know what I mean? Because I'm usually thinking, oh well, you got to spend this much. You don't. So I like I said, I know for myself.
You always.
Yeah, go ahead.
The rule for investing is you don't invest no more than 10% of your income.
Right.
If you want to be risky, bump that number to 15, but no more after that.
I usually like to keep the standard at 10. Because even that's why I always think that financial responsibility, like know how much you're spending each paycheck. And then it's just like what my financial advisor told me as well. Obviously pay yourself, but always keep in mind, like from check to check, how much you spend, and how much you make and all this other stuff, if it's going over the amount that you're making. So yeah. I don't know if you cut off, bro, so I'll wait a couple of seconds. If not, I'll just end the stream. I'll just wait a couple of seconds. Peace, A. Well, brothers, I hope y'all was able to hear this conversation. I don't know if the brother cut off, but I'll play some music. God damn it. I'll play some goddamn music. Okay, he's back on. Cool. Alright, yeah.
I don't know what happened. It just dropped out on me.
Yeah, sometimes StreamYard does that. It cuts people out, and then you gotta just jump back on. But yeah.
But yeah. So I hope my concepts are, or my thought process intrigued you. because
Oh, it definitely did,
I
man.
yeah, man, I like to see more. Hey, I figured, hey, man, when I talk about money, and it's just not brothers, but just people in general. Hell, bitches love when I talk about money. They're like, whoa, wait a
course.
minute, this brother knows
Of course.
financial markets and he knows these business concepts. Oh shit, I might have to latch onto him. You know,
Brother,
I get that.
bro.
I get that a lot, man. I get that a lot because, you know, my last job when I worked at a warehouse, man, I was killing it, man. So I even had brothers. I even showed brothers how to finance cars, and how to pay off those cars faster without having them spend not 1 cent on interest.
Mm, okay.
So, brother wanted a Dodge Charger. I showed him how you can buy that Dodge Charger the same as cash, financing it the same as cash without putting 1 red cent on the interest payment. And now brother took my advice. He had that car paid off in less than 2 years
Nice.
when he had a 5 year note.
Yes. That's
Just because I told him how to exploit the interest cycle in the payment, in the car note payment.
okay.
And that's it, man. I just want to see brothers much more wealthier, have more income, move the goalposts, you know, stuff like I just want to see everybody win, bro. I'm not a selfish
Same.
motherfucker.
No, bro, look, listen, and that's why
Because because
part of
because see, because well, I'm sorry. The
uh
reason why I say that is because if every brother became wealthy or every brother was able to increase his income by double or triple, he can now come and say, "Hey, because because this brother put me on making this income, he gives back and cooperates economically to the next brother. And now that brother doesn't have to work as hard, working a second job or putting 60-hour work weeks when he can lend that brother uh, a few $1,000s because that brother made it. And now that brother could economically join him in the economic ladder.
I agree. I believe in that. I believe in the chain of well, I would say chain of success. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I admit, starting from the bottom, but I'm definitely, willing to,
Well,
take in the knowledge and still
mm-hmm.
go
Well,
along.
it's the same. It's the same concept. Like just recently, on the stock market side, look how brothers, look how people were able to make tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars just off GameStop stock and AMC theater stock. It's the same concept. Everybody pitches in and forces the hedge funds, and you dislodge them, and now you're taking the hedge funds money, and now people are becoming instant millionaires or instant 100,000aires because everybody pulled in their resources and changed the paradigm in the stock market. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that concept that I want. That's that concept, that playbook that I want us brothers to take, spin off that, and so that every brother wins. So that way, it prevents brothers from having to work as hard when there's another avenue to making this money a much easier way. Instead of competing against each other, we cooperate with each other,
Mhm.
and everybody gets a piece of the pie.
Believe in
Because, like I
that.
said, in the US, we only make up 6% of the
6%.
male population. On top of that, there's trillions of dollars being made, but it's being taken by other ethnic groups
and not much ethnic groups, but the majority of the income that's being taken economically for the past 12, 13, 15, well, the past 15 years have been the banks. The banks, the defense contractors. I want to see us brothers take a piece of that pie
Yeah.
instead of that top 1% getting that pie. I want us, because it's only 6% of this. That's a huge. If we can just get a piece, if we can just get 1 to 2%, and we shift it our way, oh man, whoo, no one can say shit now.
You have much more high value men, quote unquote.
Yeah, just shifting a few percentage points, and we only make up 6% of the population. Per capita, our income numbers, which will go through the roof. We can instantly double our income from the average income, which was what, 41,000, 40,000 a year. 41,000. Why don't we take that 41,000 and double it to 81,000?
Mm-hmm.
You know, for example, if you actually did that, if you doubled that 41,000 to 81,000, not only would that hop, skip, and a jump white man, but that puts us within breathing distance to Asian men.
Yeah.
Because Asian men, believe it or not, are actually the highest income earners in this country, not white men.
Yeah, white men only earn I think
52.
Yeah, they only earn 10,000 more than us.
Yeah, just 10,000.
With
Asian,
the only ones that's below us is the Hispanics, but they're growing. So I mean, the population, if it's a population increase of then, I can only imagine that whole entire income bracket is only going to become larger. It was because when I seen the statistics, I think it was when we were talking about the middle class, it was still at stats that, you know, black men is at 64%. Is that 64% of the middle class? Then the Hispanics is at 57%.
I mean, they're right there. They're neck and neck.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're right there, and then it's just like so-called white men. What
gives them the economic advantage is that they have a country behind them, pushing them, propelling them forward. Because see, they take that money
and put it right
from the U.S. and they take that back to Mexico, and they're building houses with indoor plumbing. 50% of Mexicans don't have indoor plumbing. So that right there, they take that American capital, put it into the Mexican economy. The Mexican economy is growing.
And you know what's really funny about it though? Their whole entire concept is minimalism. Well, a lot of if you really think about it, a lot of immigrants that come here, but specifically we're talking about the Hispanics. The Hispanics usually have a minimalist concept. And then that money that they gain off that check, they don't really try to spend a lot on it. They try to then send it back. And then once because it was one video I was watching, and it was this Mexican dude that literally lives outside. Like he sleeps in a sleeping bag, and then he works at this company. And he's like, yo, I'm building my own company and blah, 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 and sending that money back. And I'm going to leave America, and then I'm going to have my company grow exponentially once I leave, once I make that capital. So I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm sorry, I'm eating. But what I'm saying is the reason why they do that is because a lot of Americans, most of their income is going to rent, to housing, car notes, and crap like that, and they don't have the capital to build their businesses. If you lower your overhead costs, they're able to build their businesses from the ground up a lot faster. That's why you see Hispanics live in the same household
at 5 or 8 members of the family in one given time, because they're saving all their paychecks, and then one family member uses the family's the entire family's income, and they buy their own house cash
Cash.
with no mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
See, they focus on buying assets. Most Americans spend their money on frivolous shit, materialistic shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're buying assets. That's why I said the guy Jose and Maria that jump off the border, they're able to have a house in no time within a 15-year time span. Pretty or 8 to 15-year time span, relatively quickly, because everybody's pitching in. Everybody has that shared vision. It don't take that much, bro. That's what I said. If like I said, think of it like a channel, a YouTube channel, right? If you're able to draw 50,000 subscribers and draw just $5 from them, you just had $250,000 if everybody just cash apped you or PayPal you $5 each and every time. You're able to draw in that capital pool, right? That's all I'm saying.
That's correct.
$5, bro.
$5, like, and it's not, and that's why I think. Well, that's why I always think investments is not always.
Yeah, that's what.
Too
That's
many
where the
people get
concept.
wrapped.
Well, that's where the concept, the banks. That's the concept of banking comes from, is to pool money from the population, and everybody puts their money in the bank, right? That's where my concept comes from. But instead of a banking institution, it's like a Kickstarter campaign where everybody
GoFundMe.
pitches in just $5.
Yeah, collective income.
A collective. They call it a cooperative bank or a mutual bank, mutual banking system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because a credit union, a mutual bank, or a collective, or cooperative bank, those banks are designed for their members of those banking institutions to make profit. Other banks like JP Morgan, your Bank of America, those banks are more in tune of making the wealthy, their wealthy clients in the banking institutions themselves. That's how they get rich, by using depositors' money. They're using depositors' money to make themselves rich off the expense of their customers, their banking customers, the everyday Joe. That's why I'm a big proponent of credit unions, mutual banks, cooperative banks, because those banks are set up for that. The members of those banks in those institutions, that everybody gets a piece of the pie.
It's a fair deal.
Instead of the ones like Bank of America and JP Morgan, those at the top getting the majority of the economic pie.
Yeah, it just seems like unbiased on that side, and then because you know what? Because I understand the mutual banks and stuff like that. The credit unions, I'm learning that currently, so I'm just
well, I've been a member of a credit union since I was 19 years old.
Okay.
I used to been a Wells Fargo member, but well, I had to get me a bank in order to get direct deposit for a warehouse job that I was working at the time. So I didn't think none of it in terms of shopping around for a banking institution, what best suits me. But prior to 2008, 2009, Wells Fargo was ripping off a lot of folks off.
Yeah. They had to
and
pay back
I was
what
one
they
of and I
did.
was one of them.
Okay.
So that set me off from not trusting bigger banking institutions like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Nothing against them per se. I'm a capitalist. I like J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan is one of my favorite big banks, but I just don't like their business practices, man. Like, it's too ruthless for my good. And I like being a ruthless guy, but there's just some things where I might have to disagree.
Mhm.
So I ended up, long story short, I ended up shopping around, and credit union is where it was at. And I got better rates, and I got favorable loan terms when I applied for a loan. So you just get a better deal when you're dealing with the credit union.
Okay. That's good info to know.
Yeah,
That's
it's just the one downside with the credit union is that they only operate locally or regionally. They don't
Yeah, I
operate
do notice
internet.
that.
They do not operate in national or international. So that's why so basically, once you move up the income scale and you're making that six figures, then that's where I would say you make say your income is starting to get upwards to $250,000,
Hmm.
250,000, then that's where I would probably suggest that you move up and trade um, places in terms of the banking institution that you're going to go for. That's where I would recommend you go to JP Morgan Chase, because those are the guys that will be able to facilitate how to leverage your $250,000 income.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where I would suggest to do that. Whenever you start making that type of money, that's where you're gonna have to go to the bigger players.
Hmm. I
So,
get why too, because I mean those are like the I don't even know how to say it, but I know those for sure are like the higher end ones, because I know it's
mhm,
usually that conversation. Everything else is just kind of like, yeah, it's cool, but if you're rolling
mhm,
with the big dogs, I always usually hear J.P. Morgan or Chase.
mhm.
So yeah.
Well, that's nationally, JP Morgan is going to be right up there,
Hmm.
but most wealthy individuals, they will use JP Morgan, but JP Morgan actually has a separate branch called JP Morgan Private Client, and that's a
Mm.
separate branch from the rest of their banking arm, where they only deal with high end clientele.
Mm. Okay.
And
Gotcha.
then when you get into the millions of dollars, um, most most individuals, they'll go to Goldman Sachs as their banking institution.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Nice.
right up there. Don't get it twisted. J.P. Morgan is right up there with Goldman Sachs and them. They're one of the wealthiest banks in the United States. But what I'm saying is, if you're a high net worth individual, it's usually J.P. Morgan's private client um, branch. They'll set you up, um, or it's going to be Goldman Sachs
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. Cool. I got.
And then you have the smaller players like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. That's their equivalent of the private clientele of JP Morgan. But
Merrill
I know
Lynch.
the big dogs, they'll fuck with JP Morgan, private clientele, Goldman Sachs, and American Express
Yeah.
Black Card.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. American
hmm
Express Black
hmm
Card. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
That Black Card, because that Black Card, there's no credit limit.
Yeah, that's just infinite. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. That's when.
Yeah, because a billionaire, he used his American Express Black Card.
Hmm.
He used it to buy a multi-million-dollar painting in an art gallery.
Shit.
But guess what? He used that purchase to get those bonus points to use those bonus points to buy to get a free flight on a private jet. Those are the perks that you get.
Yeah, man. Like, I hear about that all the time. The points. Yeah. Damn, these are some good notes, bro. Make sure I get this for the playback.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna shut down soon. Uh, but I thank you for gracing this powwow a lot, man. Really, that's why I think it's always important we reach out to the finances, because I mean, even still, I think that a lot of us is scared to talk about money. Kind of look at money like, oh my God, you're so, you know what I mean?
Well, see, my thing is, and I understand that because since I would say the 1960s, Black Americans in general, we have a distrust of economics because you know we always get the short end of the stick when it comes to getting that economic pie.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a long history of capitalism, socialism, communism within the Black community because we're trying to figure out what's the best economic model uh, that suits Black Americans in general.
That's true.
So should we go the socialist route? Should we go the capitalist route? It's been an ongoing thing, man. I've seen it. Me, I take all the above, and my approach is use whatever tools that's available for us and for us to take advantage of it.
And use it, yeah.
I'm a utilitarian. That's what my username is all about, utilitarianism. Use the best economic choices available to you and exploit it and just gain above it. That's what my username is. That's what it conveys.
Do you have a YouTube channel where you talk
I
about this?
I don't at the moment. I'm in the process of building up a channel,
Yeah, you
but
should.
I will. It's just I have a lot going on, so eventually I'll start posting videos on these concepts
Yeah.
and talk about how brothers can improve their credit scores or how to what type of assets that they need to buy in their life, what type of cars they need to buy, equipment, computers, stuff like that. I'll probably go into all that and just expand upon on how Black Manosphere can uh, that our space could be best utilized for our benefit on the economics side instead of talking about women all day. You know
Yeah.
how we can shift the conversation and prioritize on getting the economics. You know, because once your economic house is in order and
Everything else follows.
you're able to double that 41,000 to 81,000
81,000.
to 81,000, then the conversation of us talking about we're
That should
dusty
disappear
this,
real
dust,
quick.
huh?
I said
Yeah,
that
that
should
conversation would be
disappear.
shut down real fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said we should have like a website to where we can catalog black black men owned businesses and each and we can pool our resources so that this brother who has his own business, he's able to expand his operations without him going to the mercy of the bigger banks and having him take out a loan that's unfavorable to him.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I get what you mean. Yeah. I think that would be really important. Well, you
Yeah,
know what,
instead of
brother? You know
uh-huh.
what, brother? Get your last words in. I think you are definitely an asset to the powwow, because I think what I'll probably do in the future, because it's you that I talked to today, and then it's another guy that's involved in tech. Um,
Mhm.
if I can get him on the panel, we could talk about tech and finances in general. You come back, I definitely think we can have a sit down about that and just go all along the board with this, because I definitely do think this is something very important for me as well as other
Mhm.
brothers to pick up on.
Yeah,
So
because like I said, there's more than enough money.
yeah.
We're fighting over scraps. I'm tired of looking at it. I'm tired of seeing it. The high value man talk. I like that concept. I just want to take that concept and put it into practice, but make it more profound. Like I don't want to see, because the way Kevin Samuels has it, while I do like that concept, it's a good guideline. It's
Mm-hmm.
just too slow. It's just too slow. I want to speed up the process.
Mm-hmm.
And one way you speed up the process is not competing against each other, but complementing each other uh, skill set and cooperating. That's how you get to that economic high value man status a lot faster.
True that.
You
Because
see what I'm
I
saying?
don't, yeah, and I definitely
Hmm.
agree with you on that, because
Hmm.
my thing is, it always annoys me a little bit when someone is just like competition, competition, competition. I'm like, no, that's never how I'm looking at this. How I'm looking at it is, we grow together. I got your back, you got my back. We come through together as a
Hmm.
conglomerate and see how we can, benefit off each other and give back to each other. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
always been my concept.
I'll leave you with this. Go on YouTube. There's a company, or there's a region in Spain, in northern Spain. It's called Mon Mondragon. It's spelled Mondragon, and then Spain. You type that in on YouTube. It's a cooperative corporation, and what it is that cooperative corporation, everybody was able, their unemployment rate was a lot lower than the national average in Spain.
Type
And
type
and,
that
and,
in.
and
Type
yeah,
that in for
and
me, bro.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Let's
so I
see.
can look at that.
I'm
Cause
gonna
I
put it on the private chat.
yeah. Go ahead.
Um, yeah. So it's a cooperative. It's a good model for us brothers to look into, because they have their own university, they have their own banks, retail, and manufacturing space, and because of that, their unemployment rate is a lot lower than the national average in Spain, and their income is a lot higher than the national average in Spain.
Hmm. Okay.
And this was at a time when the Spanish economy was in the gutter, and the unemployment rate was at a 20% clip. But yet, their economy, their unemployment rate was at a 10% clip, more than half. They were able to cut their unemployment rate in half.
All right. I'm definitely about to check this out after you. Yeah, I'm about to check this out. But
Hmm.
brother, I'm gonna shut down. So I gotta uh, get ready for tomorrow. Look, man, I appreciate you. I really do
Hmm.
appreciate the conversations about finances, because me myself, man, there's a lot of stuff I want to learn too. Please make sure you grace and bless this panel again, brother, when I have it
Yeah, yeah.
again. Okay,
I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to your channel.
please
I
do.
happen to the one the one good thing how I found your channel, that it was shared through Sir
Sir
Abadayu.
Abadaya.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
man.
shared it
Appreciate him.
because I'm subscribed to that brother.
Hmm.
So you just happen to be shared on I guess the mentions on my
Yeah,
YouTube page.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
how I was able to find you. So
Brother,
when
you're
brothers,
always welcome here.
yeah, when
Okay.
brothers share, like, subscribe,
have Cash App, have PayPal, have Kickstarter campaigns, leverage their subscriber base on getting this income, bro. Brothers be winning out here.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You can take that $250,000, build a business, or you can take that $250,000 and put in the stock market and flip it 4 times over.
Yeah, I like the sound of either option is great.
Think about it. Think about it. What if you took that $250,000 and you put it into Dogecoin when it was trading around 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents a coin,
How would it be flipped?
and you put $250,000 and it went from 5 cents to 72 or 74 cents, the all-time high a few months ago. Think about how $250,000 you put in 5 cents, 74 cents. Think about that, bro. That brother just now made $5 to $10 million right off the rip.
God damn, that sounds so beautiful right now.
That's all I'm trying to convey is, brothers, the velocity of the cash flow. Leverage the velocity of that cash flow so that way brothers don't have to work. They don't have to work 2 jobs. They don't have to work a 60-hour work week job because he has the black manosphere and he has the black male content creators space as his back pocket in the economics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
And
all
know
I'm
how
saying.
know how to use the platforms to your benefit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely do agree with that. But yeah, brother, thank you so much for gracing and
Yeah,
blessing
not a problem,
this
man.
powwow,
I'll be more than happy to have a conversation
Yeah,
on
and
most
if
matters. I'm economics. I'm historian, geopolitics, political science. You name it,
mm-hmm.
I got it. If you got any more questions to ask, let me know.
Oh
I'll be
no, brother,
most happy to.
connect with me through my email, or whether you want to do it back and forth. We'll set up a powwow so we can have a combo on this, and everybody can come through, and you could just go ahead and
Yeah.
have the presentation, man. Straight up.
So
So
I'll go. So as soon as I leave on this live stream, I'll go ahead and subscribe to you, and we'll go from there.
yeah, man, for real. Yeah, and my if you want to email me, it's in the about section, so you'll see it there. And in case you want to email me about any topic ideas or how we can just conversate back and forth
Yeah,
about even
chop it up.
tonight.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
most
yeah,
definitely.
definitely. Yeah, definitely connect with me, bro. Appreciate you.
Not a problem,
All
man.
right,
I'll see you later. Take care. And I'll see you in the next live stream. All right.
all right, man. Peace.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, man. See that, ladies and gentlemen. Always a great pleasure when it comes to the powwow. You're always going to learn something new. You're always going to get different perspectives. I'm always happy about this. I ain't even really got much to say. I'm going to just go ahead and end this stream off. This was a great stream tonight, you guys. Appreciate everybody who came on the panel, on the powwow. You know me. I'm going to go ahead and play my music. We're going to get out of here. So, you know the deal.